And on a fantastic Indian summer afternoon, the Navy midshipmen have arrived and they're dressed for duty. Led by Terrence Anderson, their All-America center. What a day in the 70s here in late October as the midshipmen of Navy engage the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. And welcome everyone to South Bend, Indiana. Dick Enberg along with Pat Hayden. And Navy has lost 35 straight times to Notre Dame, and yet many of the occasions have been very close. 2 years ago, they're on the 1 yard line down by only 4. They come to Notre Dame, however, today without Brian Broadwater, their starting quarterback, injured last week. He's their leading rusher, so Brian Madden gets his first ever start.
You know, we got a chance to talk to him this week in Annapolis. He said every kid grows up wanting to play at Notre Dame. Now, he doesn't get to start for the Fighting Irish today, but his first start comes at Notre Dame Stadium. Now, he plays quarterback a little differently, a little bit like a wrestler that he was in high school. Big physical guy. I think the key for him is to make sure that he doesn't turn the ball over. That's killed him the last few games against Notre Dame. And he needs to get his team in those 3rd and 3 situations. They can't win if they're 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 all day.
Yeah, Madden's 6 feet 1 and 210 pounds. He's heavier than any of the Navy fullbacks, so they're looking to see him run today. Talking about quarterbacks, Jarius Jackson of Notre Dame. Had they not stumbled out of the gate at 1 and 3, I think there'd be some folks talking Heisman about Jackson.
Yeah, if you play well at Notre Dame, you're going to get that kind of mention. He would have deserved it. They got off to a slow start, 1 and 3, but he has really turned his season and the Irish season around, particularly the last 3 weeks. Look at those numbers. I mean, all the big plays for the Irish have come from Jarius Jackson. And today, Dick, I think he's going to have an opportunity for some really big plays, particularly in the passing game, the way Navy plays defense.
And the rallying cry at Notre Dame all this week has been, let's sweep the table. A 9 and 3 might earn us a major bowl bid. But Navy, they're disciplined, they're tough, and they're ready for a good fight today.
They started laughing at us. They started laughing at us. They want a war, they're going to get one, baby. Let's go.
They're ready to do battle. The midshipmen of Navy, the Irish of Notre Dame, the kickoff coming up. On this Halloween weekend, you knock on the weatherman's door and it's all treat, no tricks. How about that? In the 70s, the wind is from right to left, could be a factor. A magnificent day as we go down to Paul Sutherland.
All right, thank you, Dick, and it truly is for this traditional rivalry that started so many years ago, but it's been a bitter 35 years for the Naval Academy as they have lost that many in a row. But co-captains Jamie Dorfermeyer and Terrence Anderson, their All-American captain center, had an interesting idea. They thought we would look into the past, and they wrote a letter at the very beginning of practice this last August to all of the members of the 1963 team, soliciting some special inspiration to take on Notre Dame today. And all of those responses were compiled into a book called Navy Brotherhood that they distributed on the plane yesterday here to South Bend. Heisman Trophy winner in 1963, Roger Staubach, wrote back, as did so many other former players and captains of teams in 63 and 64 and 65, offering special inspiration. I talked to Terrence Anderson, whose career at the Naval Academy is almost at an end. He's going to be an All-American. He's going on to medical school, but he looked me in the eye and he said, one day I want to get one of those letters from a future captain who writes back to me, and we can tell him how to beat Notre Dame. I just don't want to have to wait 35 years. Back to you guys.
That's great stuff, Paul. 1963, Staubach and Navy beat Notre Dame. That's the last victory for the midshipmen. Notre Dame has won the toss and have deferred to the second half. Navy will receive, and the deep man for the midshipmen, number 4, John Vereen, a senior from Pasadena, Maryland. As Jim Sanson, the senior place kicker, tees it up for Notre Dame. It has been a tremendous intersectional rivalry, the longest standing intersectional rivalry. Started back in 1927. Into the blue and sunshine of this late October afternoon, down to Vereen at the 4. Sees a crease out to the 30 and a good return to the 34 for the Mids. A 30-yard return. And here is the starting offensive lineman for Navy, brought to you by Principal Financial Group. Hatzidakis, Ye, Anderson, and we'll be following him, number 62. What a player, what a man. Davies and Winchester, the offensive line. All of them with a 3-point grade point average this year. And quickly out of the huddle, so even the fast readers didn't get the rest, but we'll show you the skill positions in a moment. Here comes Matt. Keeper toss. No, he keeps the ball and gains 2 into the arms of a Johnny Sanders. Notre Dame's senior safety. Now here are the rest of the offensive lineup for the Irish of Notre Dame. With Madden at quarterback, John Vereen, and Gene Reese gets the start at slot backs. Raheem Lambert is the fullback. The wide receivers are Matt O'Donnell and Travis Williams. On 2nd and 8, it's the fullback of Lambert, who is the second leading rusher, just under 400 yards on the season. That brings up 3rd and long.
Yeah, and that's as you look at those backs and receivers, Madden and Reese and Vereen. O'Donnell, Travis Williams, good receiver, big play kind of receiver. But this is, we said they need to be in 3rd and 3. They find themselves in 3rd and 6, maybe 3rd and 7. These are tough conversion downs for Navy. And I think if they're going to have a chance of winning this ball game, they really need to be 3rd and 3 or less.
Brandon Rampani, number 82, comes into the lineup for Navy. He's their big play receiver, averaging over 23 yards a catch and has 3 touchdowns. Madden drifting for his first pass and fires complete. It is to Rapani and a first down for Navy at the 48-yard line. Devron Harper on the coverage for Notre Dame.
That's a heck of a throw by Brian Madden and a good route by Rampani. Rampani's ordinarily their guy they send down the field on the long routes. Just ran kind of an out route, a very disciplined route. I guess you expect disciplined routes from Navy receivers, don't you? But when you say, hey, Brian, Brandon, run the 12-yard out route, he's going to run it at 12 yards.
So it's first down for Navy, just inside their own 49-yard line. I don't know what this delay is about, but now they wind up the clock. Quickly out of the huddle come the midshipmen with Anderson, the senior, over the ball, 285 pounds. It is the quarterback Madden into Notre Dame territory. They try to rip the ball away to the 48, a gain of a long 3 before Lamont Bryant and Devon Harper make the tackle. And here are the Irish defensively. Irons, Weaver, Williams, and Bryant, and it's a tormenting offense, this wishbone, and they've been benefiting from having an extra week to work on it. Farrar starts with Denman and Nix, Jefferson and Harper at the corners, and Cooper and Sanders are the safety. 2nd and a short 7 at the Notre Dame 48-yard line. Give to the fullback, and Lambert breaks a tackle and fights his way to the 40, and it's another Navy first down. Irons and Cooper collaborate on the stop.
Raheem Lambert is an unusual guy for Navy in that he was a very highly skilled guy, highly recruited guy that wanted to come to Navy, and indeed he did. He's had 92 yards against Georgia Tech, but right up the gut. I mean, you stretch him with the quarterback keep on the edge, but then if you could get the fullback going later in the game, that really opens some perimeter plays in their option offense.
44-year-old Charlie Weatherby likes what he sees early, a couple of quick first downs, and Navy at the Irish 41. Here comes Madden. And he is stuffed right at the 40, a gain of 1. Anthony Denman, that inside linebacker for Notre Dame, makes the big hit.
Dick, I thought it was interesting when Charlie Weatherby was talking to us a few days ago in Annapolis about Brian Madden, his quarterback. He maybe had 3 or 4 paragraphs to say about it, but he used the word tough 4 times when he was describing Brian Madden. And he also threw out names like Bronco Nagurski and Joe Cap and Johnny Unitas. That kind of tells you the kind of quarterback he is.
He's 210, just a sophomore, 20 years old, from Lawton, Oklahoma. He was the Oklahoma High School 189-pound wrestling champion. Nothing there this time except Grant Irons, who wraps up Madden for a loss of a yard at the 41. That'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, the defensive ends for Notre Dame play a key role in defending the options. Grant Irons, and sometimes you'll see Anthony Weaver doing it today as well. And their key down here is they got to squeeze that option play, and then the defensive end has a chance to force the quarterback to keep the ball and make a play like that. And Grant Irons, Anthony Weaver, Lamont Bryant, all 3 of their defensive ends, if they'll rotate that position, are going to have an important game.
8th play of the drive at the 41, 3rd and 10. Madden fires, incomplete, as Travis Williams unable to pull it in. Would not have been a first down anyway. And let's see the call for Weatherby at the 41 on 4th down and 10. Appears he's going to go for it.
They go for it a lot on 4th downs, but not on 4th and 10. I think you have to punt it.
And here comes the punting team with Trey Collish, the senior from Virginia Beach. He's averaging 39.4 on the season.
He just can't punt this ball in the end zone. It's an error if he punts this ball in the end zone.
Deke Cooper back for the Irish at the 15. Good snap. Into the wind. Got too much of it. Oh, too good. The leg of College, and the Irish will start not inside the 10, but at the 20-yard line on the touchback. Underway on this sunny day in South Bend. No score, 11:20 left in the opening quarter. Welcome back to Notre Dame. The Irish with the ball for the first time. They start at the 20-yard line. Here they are offensively with that line building chemistry, and it is one of the strengths now in the middle of the season. Black, Jones, Morandi, Gandy, and Teasdale. With Jarius Jackson, Tony Fisher starts at tailback. Joey Goodspeed gets the go at fullback. Getherall, who had 7 catches the last game against USC. Bobby Brown outside, and Jabari Holloway, the tight end. Jackson checks the Navy defense, and a quick toss to the outside is complete. And it's Getherall hammered out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Appears he got just enough for the first down. Chris Lepore, Navy's leading tackler at safety, made the stop. And here's the Navy starters in their 3-4 defensive set. Wimsatt, Rhino, and Marchetti on the line. With the linebackers Martin, McGee, Hill, and Chavis. There's a familiar name. His uncle, great defensive lineman with the Denver Broncos. Alexander and Williams at the corners. Lepore, far and away the leading tackler on the season, and Doffermeyer, an all-East defender, at safety. Throw to the other side, same play, other side, and it's Givens who takes it out to the 39-yard line, and 9 on first down.
Well, Kevin Rogers comes right out with 2 consecutive passes, and really good, because what Navy's going to try to do today, Dick, on first and second down is crowd 8, sometimes 9 guys up close to the line of scrimmage. So the counterattack obviously is to throw the ball, the quick little hitch out here. You get a block up here, and you have a chance for a play. Picked up 10 yards in the first time they threw this, and picked up 9 the second time.
So on 2nd and 1, with Fisher at tailback. And the long handoff to Tony Fisher, and the first down as he tumbles to the 43. Darrell Hill and Ryan Hamilton get the start. We didn't expect to see Hamilton, number 58, but he is in there in this opening series. He's from Havertown, Pennsylvania, 218-pound sophomore.
Yeah, to tell you how important the game is to Ryan Hamilton, I was talking to Tim DeRuta, the defensive coordinator, said this guy's hurt, he can't play. And you know this game is important to Ryan Hamilton to be out and starting.
Now Jackson checks the defense. First down at the Notre Dame 43. Back he goes. Swings it to Holloway, the tight end, on a delay over the middle, and he's dropped at the 50-yard line as Lepore and Chavis make the stop.
You know, this team, Notre Dame's offense, gives you a little something different every single week from Kevin Rogers, their offensive coordinator. This is a play I haven't seen all year from the Irish. A little tight end delay to Jabari Holloway, who does a great job with the stab, the left-handed stab there for that catch.
Holloway, who doesn't get a chance to make all the practices. In fact, on Tuesday and Thursday, his late lab classes in chemistry and architectural computer keep him off the field. Give to Fisher, and he weaves for the first down to the Navy 43-yard line. Brad Wimsatt and Jamie Doffermeyer on the stop.
Shaka Martin, number 52 there, talking about some of the good students of their chemistry major. A good outside linebacker for them, one of their playmakers on defense, 4 sacks on the year. And there's, well, I guess it's not actually Billy the 30th there, but
he's back there resting for the Army game. You know, you got a lot of rest for that 100th Army-Navy game.
That's right.
Early December. A real go. Total shift in the Navy defense. On first down 10. And the toss to Fisher, and a flag down as Fisher out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Lepore running him out of bounds, and let's check the penalty. Officials are all from the Atlantic Coast Conference, and our referee is Courtney Mosey.
Real estate developer.
It helps to know the turf.
Yeah,
know the lay of the land.
I knew if I just threw you something out there, you should put a period on the sentence.
Block below the waist.
Much.
On the offense, 15 yards, spot of the foul, repeat first down.
You know, it's funny, block below the waist. Remember, Bob Davie was talking to us yesterday about that specific play because Navy has a lot of crackback blocks, and he was worried about some of that. And Charlie Weatherby's wide receivers in particular, very good blockers.
See if we can pick it up, Pat.
The left side of the screen. Right there it is, right there. Yeah, can't go below the waist once you get past that. There's a 5-yard box there. You can't block below the waist.
Javen Hunter is marked off from the spot of the foul, so it's 1st and 21. No score. Just under 9 minutes left in this opening quarter. Jackson being chased and brought down for a loss by Alex Murray, the 258-pound senior defensive end from Mill Creek, Washington.
20th sack on the year for this Navy defense. Now, I mean, Notre Dame is so much larger. I think he's right in here. Yeah, here he is. He goes right by Jordan Black, number 78. I mean, all these offensive linemen for Notre Dame go to, 300, 310. And if Navy's going to have any chance, they're going to have to do it through quickness. And Murray made a nice quick inside move for their 20th sack of the year.
So on 2nd and 28, Jarius Jackson from the shotgun with Fisher and Howard. His bookends, and then throws up the middle, bounces it incomplete at the 50-yard line to Bobby Brown. 3rd down and 28. A reminder, in-depth coverage of the Fighting Irish at msnbcsports.com. Check out Pat Hayden's analysis, video highlights, post-game audio interviews. Plus, if you have Web TV Plus, select with your remote the interactive eye on your screen. Obtain instant live stats, team information, and scores. msnbcsports.com, the official website of NBC Sports. 3rd down, 28 for the Irish at their 39-yard line.
Ordinarily, you'd say, hey, we got him. But now with Jarius Jackson, he's converted some of these this year.
And here comes a safety blitz that is picked up beautifully. And then Jackson has it deflected at the 50-yard line. One of the big linebackers. No, it's Michael Wagner who drifted from his defensive lineman position to knock it away. Wagner from Wichita Falls, Texas, a 20-year-old sophomore.
Yeah, it's one of those zone blitz types things. He's coming down here. He's a defensive lineman, and he drops back when the safety comes in. Quarterback doesn't really see him or expect him in coverage, and gets a 6'3" frame up enough to disrupt that pass. So good change of place there by Tim DeRuyter's defense.
Billy Hubbard drifts back to the 17-yard line as Joey Hildbold to punt and gets it off. End over end and short. Ooh, very closely to the Navy player. Picked up by Hubbard, trying to stay in bounds. Boy, like a pinball. He had a taste of about 5 tacklers, and Hubbard back on his feet. The spirit of this Navy team. We'll be enjoying that throughout the day. Navy ball at the 27-yard line. You're looking at Terrence Anderson at 5'11" and 285 from Stillwater, Oklahoma. His dad, Willie, was an All-Atlantic Coast Conference nose guard at Clemson. He has just been named as one of the 15 honor athletes that play football by the National Football Foundation and College Football Hall of Fame with a postgraduate scholarship, $18,000. He wants to go to medical school. Orthopedic surgeon. Here he is coming into the stadium. 3 stripes now, mind you, and that 3rd stripe is for being captain of the Navy team.
He'll get you a little extra privileges around campus, like he gets his laundry done first when you're captain of the team.
That is important. And flag before the snap usually implies illegal procedure by the offense.
Yeah, and Navy's had some trouble this year with illegal procedures.
Dead ball, false start. On the offense, 5 yards, still 1st down.
And Dick, they call this their spread offense, a variation of the wishbone. They put 2 guys that are kind of in a wingback situation. One generally goes in motion. About 90% of the time, they're going to run the ball to that motion. But then occasionally, and this is where some of their big plays have come this year, is they run counter plays away from motion.
Travis Williams, the wide receiver to the left, into that slot back T formation, and the give to the fullback Lambert. Oh, is he hit? Swarmed by a pack of Notre Dame tacklers led by Ronnie Nix and Anthony Weaver, and they have Weaver apparently moving to a new defensive position against this wishbone.
Yeah, they have him playing defensive end because he is so good at really kind of defending the wishbone in sense of okay, he's down here. He's just going to chase the play and then make the play along with Denman. But Weaver really squeezes the fullback, then takes the quarterback.
Second down 15, and Madden on the roll, looks, fakes, does not throw, and is to the 24-yard line where it'll be 3rd and long. Lance Legree, the 292-pound Notre Dame tackle from St. Stephen, South Carolina, with a stop.
Well, this is a running team that doesn't play real well in 3rd and long situations. 3rd and 12 they find themselves now. Real good history of running the football, 7th this year. All the academies run the ball well. All have a variation of the option attack.
Oh, there's another false start.
That's 2. I think it was against the Air Force. I saw 4 or 5 false start penalties.
Dead ball. False start. On the offense, 5 yards, 3rd down.
Costas Hatzidakis, the left tackle from Yorba Linda, California. If you look at Charlie Weatherby, his son Jonas is a redshirt freshman quarterback at the University of Kansas. He himself at the high school at Fort Scott, Kansas, all-stater in football, basketball, and track, and then on to Oklahoma State as a quarterback. Quarterback draw, Madden up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles and gets to the 30, but not enough for the 1st down. That'll bring up 4th down and about 7.
The problem for Navy thus far in this ball game is they've been in that that 3rd and 7, 3rd and 7 plus. They're not going to win the ball game unless they can do better on 1st and 2nd down.
Now Julius Jones comes in to return for Notre Dame as college with his 2nd punt. Actually, only 21 yards net on his first. This is where he wants to throw one. The dangerous freshman Jones with his speed to return. And now he kicks it short. And it takes a Notre Dame bounce and will die at about the 41-yard line. Kind of bounced around some legs there. Navy pointing that that should be their ball, but not only did it not hit a Irish player earlier, Ron Israel was there to cover it anyway for Notre Dame. So the Irish now with field position at their 41 when we return. 5.5 minutes left in the opening quarter. Welcome back to Notre Dame. No score. 5:39 left in this opening quarter. Tony Fisher, the starting tailback. Tony Driver, who has been sharing duties with Fisher, has been dismissed from the team for a university violation, a dormitory violation. Driver stays in school, and he plans to continue his academic work and hopefully can rejoin his teammates next year as they break huddle with good speed at fullback and Fisher at tail, leading rusher on the season. And the give to Fisher, trying to get outside. Good job by the Navy defense, and Lepore, no wonder he leads the team in tackles. He's got 4 or 5 already this year, and the flag is down.
Yeah, Lepore has been their best defensive player, but that's a run I think Tony Fisher really should have cut inside. He had a good block by Mike Gandy, who was pulling. I think it's going to be a hold against the Irish. But Mike Gandy kicked his guy out. I thought Tony Fisher was going to cut inside that, but he tried to stretch it out, and Lepore was there.
Holding on the offense. The run ended behind the line. We're penalized from the previous spot. 10 yards, 1st down.
Good job on the edge by the Navy defense.
Yeah, here's Gandy watching us. He kicks his guy out. The ball should come right in there. He tries to bounce it out, but he's running right in the direction that Gandy is blocking his guy.
That was Baz Williams, the 186-pound cornerback, number 6, up there fighting the big guys to keep the play from going inside. He's from Detroit, Michigan, but high school in Louisiana, Bastrop, Louisiana, and thereby his name, Baz, nickname. So 1st and 20 for the Irish. Jackson, good time. Open man, and Getherall could not bring it in. The jockey, they call him, Joey Getherall at 5'7". A reminder to check out Notre Dame's official athletic department website at UND.com. Live in-game statistics, transcripts of Bob Davie press conferences, all the inside information, not only on football, but all of the Irish sports at UND.com.
Dick, here with 5 minutes left in the first quarter, no score. Notre Dame is a much bigger team. They've got highly recruited athletes, but the academies always give them a hard time because football is incredibly important to these guys at the academy.
Second down and 20. Jackson from the shotgun. Gets a little pressure on the screen to Fisher. Has a blocker. And finally, Navy chases him down by numbers. In fact, Charlie Weatherby said we're going to play defense roll call to the ball. In other words, every man to the ball. 14 yards on the play.
Well, you know, 3 screens the Irish have run this game. 2 to wide receivers. That was their first 2 plays. Then they ran a tight end screen. And now they've run a halfback screen. So this is actually the 4th. We also look at Jim Jones, number 55, hustling in his 300-pound body out in front, right on Doffelmeyer, one of the captains. I mean, so one of their game plan today for the Irish, some of it has been screens because of all that penetrating defense of the Navy.
Third down and 6, and again Jackson from the shotgun with good speed to his left. Both wide receivers, 2 to the right, and Bobby Brown split left. Jackson fires the ball, and it's complete to Getherall. What a tough catch at the Navy 45, and a first down.
And where did he catch it? Right over by the hash mark. We were talking to Joey Getherall yesterday. He's all 5'7", 175 pounds, but he makes all those tough catches, Dick, over the middle. He said, you know, you like to work the middle? He said, no, not the middle so much. I just work the hash marks. And he did it again. And that was kind of a, you know, pretty good coverage. A rocket from Jarius Jackson, and Joey Getherall does a great job of hanging on.
It's Getherall's 20th catch of the season. Good speed, and now Julius Jones, the running back, on first down, and it's Jones.
Julius Jones
pulling his way for a couple of yards to the Navy 43, and swarmed there by several Navy tacklers.
Well, Desmond Robinson, the offensive backfield coach, spoke to us yesterday about Julius Jones, and his one singular word was magic. This guy has some magic about him, and all the coaches have been saying that all year long about him. And he's getting more and more work, including the last 2 games. Really kind of started as a punt returner. Now he's returning kicks, running the ball more, and even had a long catch against Southern Cal a couple of weeks ago.
Only 1 yard on that play on first down. So Jackson now has to throw, and incomplete, almost intercepted. That ball thrown so hard, it handcuffed David Alexander, the cornerback.
Yeah, I think it went through the body of Javen Hunter and then right through Alexander as well. That was a piercing throw by Jarius Jackson, who's done a really good job of making smart decisions. I think more than anything the last 3 weeks would have been a very tough catch for either one of them.
So third down and 9 for Notre Dame. No score. 3:44 left in this opening quarter. Getherall and Gibbons to the left, and Jay Johnson split right for Notre Dame. Flag down. I believe Navy was offside. Free play for Jackson, who runs it out of bounds, and that's too bad for Navy. They would have brought up 4th down in a punting situation, but someone jumped early on the left side of the Navy line. Might have been one of the defensive backs trying to sneak up.
Offside on the defense. 5 yards. Repeat third down.
You know, oftentimes when you see that, you love to see the offensive team, the quarterback, throw the ball deep because you know you have a free play. We know that. We saw the University of Oklahoma do that earlier this year for 3 touchdowns.
So instead of 4th down and about 9, it's 3rd and 4.
Following the penalty, it's 3rd and 4 for the Irish.
And Tony Fisher returns to the lineup for the Irish, as does Joey Getherall. Ball at the Navy 38. Holloway shifts to the left side. Here comes Jackson. Gets a couple of great blocks and fights his way to the 32-yard line and a first down.
Well, Jarius Jackson at 230 pounds is bigger and heavier than most of Notre Dame's defenders. He is a powerful runner. You know, he's got real good vision, a feel for when to cut the ball upfield, get his shoulders square. A little slow developing. I thought he was going to get caught from behind. This guy gets knocked off. And then a little lane there. Knew exactly where he had to go for the first down and bowled the last 2 yards to pick it up.
In fact, Navy has only 1 linebacker, no defensive backs as heavy as Jackson, who's over 230. At the 32-yard line, first down, and Getherall in motion. Jackson with a quick toss. Fisher. And the stutter cost him any extra yardage, and no gain as Chris Lepore, who's all over the field defensively. This junior from North Olmsted, Ohio, makes another tackle.
You know, he does make a lot of them. He's their leading tackler, had 22 tackles against Air Force. He's had an interception on the year. Doesn't come off a lot, but he is now because he's kind of banged up. He plays a lot of special teams. This guy's a good player.
Actually, a gain of a yard, 2nd and 9. No score late in the opening quarter at Notre Dame. The Irish with the deepest drive. This is the 9th play of the current drive. 2nd and 9. Doffermeyer on the blitz. The throw incomplete, but Doffermeyer mistimed his charge, and I believe he too was offside. So Navy self-destructing with the ball. A couple of false starts their last possession. That frustrated the head man for the midshipmen, and now a couple of offside penalties. Oh, it's going to be the other way. So Doffermeyer perhaps did time correctly, and was the tackle for Notre Dame that might have reacted.
Boy, and Jarius Jackson is upset not only with the penalty, but he had a chance. He had Dan O'Leary as tight end open for a big play down that middle. You know, if Doffermeyer is coming like you're talking about, Dick, he's their strong safety. If you release the tight end behind him, you have a chance.
Procedure on the offense. 6 men on the line. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
So Navy declines to bring up 3rd and 9. Here's Jamie Doffermeyer, a 2-sport star. He also brilliant lacrosse player. He said he grew up with a dad that loved Notre Dame, and he said his favorite movie is Rudy.
He said, I couldn't wait to play defense on this field.
Navy crowding the line of scrimmage. The quick throw to the flat is caught by Brown, and he's going to go down the sidelines. A Notre Dame touchdown, Bobby Brown. Brown's 4th touchdown of the season. Very nearly intercepted by Lepore, but he couldn't get there in time, and Brown 31 yards for the score.
What a great sight adjustment by Jarius Jackson and Bobby Brown. They read a blitz. They both saw it. They came up with a touchdown play.
David Miller's try for point with a new snapper, Gerald Morgan. And it is good. 59 yards in 9 plays for Notre Dame. Jackson to Brown, 31 yards for the score. And with 2:05 left in the opening quarter, Notre Dame takes the lead 7-0. You're watching Notre Dame football on NBC. So often it's true, the execution so delicate. A perfect throw from Jarius Jackson, a near play by the defense, but Bobby Brown able to make the catch and stay in bounds for the score, 31 yards. Comes with 2:05 left in this opening quarter as Sampson has it teed up. Navy's turn. John Vereen is deep. Not related to Ben Vereen, the great actor, musical star. He said, but I do like to dance. Won't get a chance here as they'll take the knee down in the end zone. Matt O'Donnell and Vereen and company will start from the 20-yard line.
Now, Dick, you mentioned the good throw. First of all, it was a terrific read. This is Bads Williams on the blitz. He reads it, and then Lepore, the free safety, really takes a poor angle. He went for the interception, maybe should have laid off, and it did take a pretty good throw to Bobby Brown for the score. Started with the corner blitz, and Navy said, you know, we don't match up physically with Notre Dame. We're going to have to take some chances. They took one there, and they got burned for a touch.
And Brown, senior from Lauderhill, Florida, St. Thomas Aquinas High School, has his 4th score of the season. Well, Brian Madden, who's already assured a place on the All-Madden team, puts Navy to work on his toss. And it goes for no yardage at all.
You were up late last night, I know.
As John Fay takes the toss, Dre Brittingham, who has been the starter at slot back, will not play today, did not make the trip. He's injured, so they without their quarterback and their top speed back, Navy, against Notre Dame. Fay gets the call. He's a senior from Fort Worth, Texas. Familiar Navy name, by the way, is His brother Ben led Navy to that Aloha Bowl victory a couple of years ago over California. Scored a couple of late touchdowns. Flag down as Madden on the run. A perfect throw to Rampani, and he steps out of bounds at the 28. A 12-yard play if.
Rampani, but we do have a flag down.
Yeah. Illegal formation against the Navy, and this has to really frustrate Charlie Weatherby. One thing Navy is known for is their execution, and beat themselves with penalties.
Well, you're right, and that's been his series with Notre Dame. They've had 15 turnovers the last 4 games against Notre Dame. He said the first thing we have to do is can't turn the ball over. We can't make a lot of penalties. We just don't match up well with these guys, and then we have to get in the 3rd and 3s. Well, they haven't really done those things yet today.
Now they stare at 2nd and 17. They had the first down yardage on the pass play. Here's the Madden, the quarterback, on a version of the draw, and he scrambles close to the 19-yard line where it'll be 3rd down and 11. Ronnie Nix, Kilgore, Texas senior, makes the tackle for Notre Dame.
Yeah, Ronnie Nix is one of those guys that when he hits you, you generally go down. And sometimes he hurts himself when he hits guys so hard. He's had injuries most of his career at Notre Dame because he's really kind of knocked himself out of games.
So 3rd and 11 for the Navy. Travis Williams to the right and O'Donnell to the left. Madden on the roll. Nobody downfield. He has to throw it away.
That's got to be a penalty. There's no receiver anywhere near that ball. That's got to be a grounding penalty.
All right,
I saw Bob Davie near the ball, but he wasn't wearing a white jersey. There it goes.
Wasn't eligible. Yep. There's the penalty flag, delayed flag, and Davie's campaign.
It's an election year.
Able to
Intentionally grounding. The forward pass. The penalty is loss of down at the spot. 4th down.
So really that's 6 or half dozen.
Well, again, they have a 1 receiver formation, and Notre Dame took the receiver away. There's nowhere for Brian Madden to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's all that time he said somebody should be out there, but that 1 receiver had been knocked out of bounds.
And Bob Davie clearly realizing, hey, I was the closest guy to that ball.
He's been practicing being angry after they toilet papered his tree this week. A little Halloween deal. Coming up to get the ball, Julius Jones, and fighting, then finally dragged down at the Navy 47-yard line. 33-yard punt, 5-yard return. Final minute, opening quarter. The Irish 7-0. 80,000 plus at Notre Dame from the producers of Merlin and the Odyssey. Watch.
NBC, November 7th. A forbidden love leads to an epic battle to save the Earth. Leprechauns, coming to NBC 1 week from Sunday.
Wonder what the segue shot will be. How about
there
that,
you
huh?
go. There you
Leprechauns indeed. Don't miss it. November 7th on NBC. Yeah, the guy's a pretty good actor himself.
Oh boy, he's hyper. We voted him the most hyper mascot in America.
That's right, number 1. Leading 7-0, final minute of the opening quarter, and Notre Dame starts on the Navy half of the field, and Jackson with play action, then throws incomplete for Getherall, who was open.
Yeah, this has not been a real spirited Irish offense yet. They've missed some guys, and Joey Getherall was open by, what, 10 yards, 15 yards? Crossing route there by Joey Getherall. The ball may have been tipped. You're going to see Getherall coming across the field here. There he is, number 18. Working those the middle of the field, the hash marks, just a 3-yard turn. Jarius Jackson really wasn't rushed. Ball may have been tipped.
2nd down 10. Getherall out and Jay Johnson in, along with David Givens are the wideouts for Jackson, who will start under center. Terrence Howard is the tailback, and a flag down. May not have beaten the play clock.
A little ragged for the 8th game of the year, and Bob Davie.
Delay of the game on the offense. 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
What Bob Davie said to us yesterday with that after the bye week, he said it seems like we haven't played forever. He says, I'm just anxious to get going, worried about my team.
Coaches are wonderful, though. One hand, the other coach says, well, you got 2 weeks to prepare for it. That's the one advantage Navy has, is it's a tough offense to defend. And the other coach says, gee, we have 2 weeks. We don't look like we played much.
Coach speak,
That's 2nd and 15, and the fire incomplete, and that was up for grabs for a moment. Jay Johnson, the intended receiver. John Chavis close by for Navy, and was Darrell Hill.
Darrell Hill, number 55, Tim Duder, the defensive coordinator, said to me yesterday, he's a wild horse rider. I guess that means he's a great football player. Wild horse. Now, Jarius Jackson, you can throw the ball too hard. He's throwing the ball awfully hard. I mean, he's wounding some people out there.
And no doubt about the strength of his arm. In fact, NFL scouts starting to recognize that Jackson, with his size and poise and his throwing arm, will be considered in the next level.
He should be.
Going to run this time, and he's dangerous here as well. And a good open field tackle from Baz Williams, the cornerback.
That was a heck of an open field tackle. Remember, Jarius Jackson has made an incredible, an inordinate number of big plays through the running game. Matter of fact, the coaching staff of Navy said they think he's a better open field runner than Joe Hamilton. But Baz Williams, perfect tackling form, gets his head in front and brings down the 230-pound Jarius Jackson.
That's a 45-pound plus differential, and he stopped him cold, and that forces the punter Joey Hildbold with 4 seconds left in the quarter. And the quarter ends right there before the punt. So after the first 15 minutes here at Notre Dame Stadium, the score, the Irish 7, the Midshipmen of Navy nothing. And we'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. Back at Notre Dame. Hey, now there's a musical instrument you can play, Pat.
The cymbal holder,
cymbal holder. Bars and clefs, they're tough.
Well, you can't dance very well.
Well, you get personal. I get just making a comment.
We get mean around Halloween.
The second quarter starts with Hildbold the punt to Billy Hubbard, who stands at the 10. Off the side of the foot. Taken by Hubbard. Oh, he was out of bounds, fortunately, and that ball might have gone to Notre Dame. He just did have a foot on the sidelines. 23-yard punt.
Only Billy Hubbard is a little bit like Joey Getherall. He does not fair catch balls. Never. Yeah, Hubbard, number 86 here. He should have really let this one go. Thinks he's going to pick it up and go. The ball was clearly out of bounds, but Hubbard, he is an interesting punt returner. You're not going to see him raise his right hand much today.
Jason Beckstrom, the talented freshman from Jenks, Oklahoma, trying to make the defensive play for Notre Dame. So Madden and Navy starting inside their 20, and Madden out to about the 23. So that's a decent gain on first down before Rocky Boyman can bring him down.
Well, Brian Madden, we mentioned he was a wrestler. You know, Dick, an incredible high school wrestling career. 31-0 his senior year in high school in Oklahoma. And
got the years to prove it.
Yeah, boy.
And tough young guy. Said his favorite players were Montana and Aikman. Wanted number 12 when he came to the Navy. That was a problem. Fumble the ball. And able to have the presence to fall back on it, Madden. It was out there for grabs for Big Brad Williams and Lance Legree, but they couldn't quite scoop it in.
Yeah, well, that's some of the strength of Brian Madden. You mentioned that he is their biggest back at 6'1", 210 pounds. It looked like he did lose the ball, but he's strong enough really to break the tackle to get back and fall on the ball. Little quarterback delay was stripped here by Williams.
Brad Williams trying to swim over there, but he doesn't have a good backstroke.
Yeah, can't swim much against the Navy.
Madden's throw is complete to Rampani, and Rampani just cannot elude a swarm of Irish tacklers at the 29-yard line. And let's see, that's going to be good enough for a first down for the Midshipmen.
You know, Dick, it was interesting. We were at Annapolis this week, talked to a bunch of the midshipmen and heavy underdogs, but they don't believe they are. These guys, you look in their eye, they absolutely believe they can and should win.
With over 100 from the brigade here, you know that they've been hitting the books and minding their naval manners, because this is a treat for them, and most of them are from northern Indiana, the Chicago area. Chance to come to the game, represent the midshipmen, and at the same time see family. And getting that down box reset now. They'd already moved the chains in a first down.
Yeah. Well, this is what you're really happy your referee's a real estate guy now, aren't you?
Especially if you're Coach Charlie Weatherby. And now it's all set. It is a first down at the Navy 30-yard line. That's Fay in motion. Madden keeping. And you can see his power. He's got fullback size, at least in Navy terms, and he's out across the 35-yard line, a gain of 6, but at 210 pounds, he's a throwaway as a Notre Dame fullback.
Yeah, he said to us on Thursday, he says, if I see an opening, I'm going to take it. I mean, he's not really thinking about it. He's going to come right down this line, and he as soon as he sees it open, he's not going to pitch it. He realizes, hey, I'm the strongest back we have. He's got great leadership skills as well as being a pretty good runner.
And 2nd and 4, it's the fullback, Lambert, to the 39-yard line. That'll be a yard shy of the first down. Check out Pat Haynes now operating at fullback for the midshipmen, and Haynes, the sophomore from Vacaville, California.
And for the first time, they're in a short 3rd down situation, 3rd and less than 1, Dick. We've seen most of this first half. They've been in 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. So Charlie Weatherby, this is the kind of 3rd down situation he wants.
Matt O'Donnell is split left and Travis Williams to the right. And it's the quarterback straight ahead, Brian Madden, and it appears he has the first down.
You mentioned that he wanted the number 12. That was Roger Staubach's number. Retired, realized, whoops, can't have that number.
He said that Oklahoma and Oklahoma State and some of the schools in the Southwest wanted him to play, but as a defensive back. And he said, I have my heart set on being a quarterback in major college football, and Navy gave me that opportunity.
Well, he was really recruited more as a wrestler.
Well, to win the state championship in wrestling in the state of Oklahoma, that
right.
tells you a lot. That's a #1 sport.
Red ball. False start.
It's 3 of them.
On the offense. 5 yards. First down.
3 false starts. Wow. Yeah, 1 to 3. They're obviously 100% there. But look at the 7+. This is where they can't be in this situation. That's bad penmanship by myself, but excuse me. The 3rd and 7+. They just can't be there and have a chance to win. 25%, if my math is correct. 1 through 4, right?
Let me think. Yes, that is good. Good fake by Madden. He wants to go long, and he throws it right to Notre Dame. Intercepted by Johnny Sanders. A Sanders 3rd of the season.
Playing an option team, your safeties have to play well. I mean, they're responsible for the pitch, and you're always worried about getting burned on the big pass play. But Johnny Sanders had a good first half. He's made a couple of good tackles, and then here he shows up in flashes in the passing game.
Sanders, who wears number 5, to honor the fact that he's the 5th child in a family of 8 out of Houston, Texas. He says that Johnny in Swahili means skillful writer, and he'd like to write a winning end of this season and get to a big bowl game on January 1st. Give it to Jones, and he's in Navy territory at the 49 with a pickup of 7.
Well, you mentioned a little bit earlier, Dick, Notre Dame, after a 1-4 start, really has gotten themselves back into some major bowl 1-3 start, excuse me, 1-3 start, a major bowl picture. And I saw some of those, yellow and maroon jackets down there, the bowl representatives. Those jackets you used to wear on Sports Challenge. I saw.
You got to have plaid, though. You got to be plaid. 2nd down to Jones. And he's able to submarine to the 45 on a first down. David Rhino, the biggest of the defenders for Navy at 290 pounds, number 96, made the tackle.
Well, Julius Jones comes from a pretty good family of runners. His brother Thomas Jones, 2nd in the nation. in rushing, averaging 158 yards a game, plays for the University of Virginia. Julius wanted to kind of cut his own pass, so didn't go to Virginia, came here, and every coach we have spoken with has said this guy is going to be an unbelievable player.
True freshman Jones, 190 pounds. He gets the call again. Outside with plenty of speed, one man to beat. 30, 20, and twisted out of bounds by Chris Lepore at the Navy 18-yard line. 28 yards, Julius Jones' longest run of the season.
I think what I like most about Julius Jones is that he really believes he's an attack inside runner, and yet he can bounce it. As he did nothing inside, he was going to have a power run, but then it turned into being a speed run. But give Chris Lepore some credit, number 26. He's the only guy there. Very patient tackle in play by Lepore.
Well, first down, Notre Dame leading 7-0 early in the second quarter. It's Jones again, vaulting through a hole, and Lepore makes still another tackle, assisted by Jamie Doffermeyer. 5 on the play. Notre Dame football will return to NBC in 3 weeks. November 20th, the Fighting Irish battle the Eagles of Boston College. Jarius Jackson and company, and the Irish will be playing their final home game of the season. Boston College here on November 20th, only on NBC. Next week, the Irish go to Tennessee. Rutgers will be Navy's opponent.
Hey, the Irish, they play like they did against USC and Oklahoma in the second half. They can play with Tennessee down there.
Second down, 5, and it's Jones again. And this time, Navy there to make the tackle. Shaka Martin, number 52, the sophomore from Danville, Virginia.
Trying to really beginning to get a feel of why the Notre Dame coaches like Julius Jones so much. You know, can be a powerful inside guy, not afraid to go inside, break tackles, makes people miss in a small area. Kevin Rogers, the offensive coordinator, said, hey, this guy is very special.
Rogers, a former assistant at Navy, a familiar name for fans of the midshipmen. Third down and 5. Jackson to Gibbons. Gibbons twisting, and he's down to the 1-yard line. First and goal, Notre Dame. David Gibbons, a sophomore from Humboldt, Texas, with a tough run after the catch. Hill and Alexander made the stop.
He got drilled by Hill, too. Good throw that time by Jarius Jackson. That one, he needed to have some steam at it because he was way out by the numbers. The ball, sometimes in the air too long, drills it to him, then he turns into a running back. Boy, does he take a couple of shots there at the end.
Well, the power T for the Irish. First and goal at the 1, and that could be against Notre Dame. You saw the entire Navy defensive line charge. Dead
ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards. First down.
And that was on Ryan Scarola, number 72, their left guard. Interesting, Notre Dame really shuffles in about 8 offensive linemen during the course of every game, which first I've ever seen a team do that and still have continuity in the running game.
Now, the depth of this Notre Dame team and the youth bodes well for the end of the season, and they look to be building toward a great year, a season away. Navy able to elude offside. Jones. No, it's Terrence Howard who gets the call, and he gets the 5 yards back, but another flag is down.
You mentioned Tony Driver being gone. This is the area of the field that Tony Driver generally is in the against the midshipmen. But Tony Driver ordinarily is their power back down here.
Driver, who has 220 plus pounds. They like Howard. He's 6'1" and 195, the sophomore from Willingboro, New Jersey.
On the defense, penalty is declined. Second down.
Irish will take the 5-yard run by Howard to bring up second and goal at the 1.
And they'll get in their formation, which they call cadet. It looks like a, they call it the cadet, named after the Army cadets because they run the wishbone.
Good speed, 45 is the fullback, but they give it to the halfback, and it is Terrence Howard who has the touchdown. Howard with his first score as a Notre Dame running back.
Really good blocking on the right side of that offensive line. Jabari Holloway in particular, number 87, the tight end, did his job. Good lead block. There's Holloway up here just blowing his man into the end zone.
extra point by Miller is good, and the Irish on a 56-yard drive in 8 plays build their lead to 14-0.
Yeah, watch these guys right here. Holloway in particular, big hole. Black, and then the lead back. Easy touchdown.
Just over 8 minutes left in the opening half. Notre Dame 14, Navy nothing. The weather is unbelievable here in northern Indiana. A couple of days from November. I mean, we could have expected anything, including snow flurries this time of the year. And here it's in the mid 70s. It was, what, yesterday, a record in the 80s here.
Sensational weather.
South Bend. All-time record for the date. 14-0, the Irish. 4-touchdown favorites against Navy. The midshipmen come in here 2-5. They lost some very close games, including their homecoming to Akron 35-29. They lost to the Air Force by 5, 19-14. To Boston College by 10. The opponent of Notre Dame here in 3 weeks. And Rice defeated Navy by 3. So they've been in their games. Sanson, very high short kick down at the 20. And this is O'Donnell, the wide receiver. And Matt O'Donnell to the 33-yard line. Now the Navy takes over at that spot. They're down by a couple of touchdowns. Midpoint of the second quarter. You're watching Notre Dame on NBC. With our director John Gonzalez, producer Jim Bell, Dick Enberg with Pat Hayden and Paul Sunderland. Notre Dame Stadium, and there's Terrence Anderson, the co-captain and All-America candidate at center for Navy, as they set up at the 33-yard line. Fake by Madden, the quarterback, on first down, and throws short, incomplete. You talk about Anderson and a formidable Navy schedule. It's not just Anderson, it's anyone in that white uniform. Wake up at 6:30, and then the midshipman formation at 7. They have breakfast at 7:10, eat fast enough, maybe go back, take a nap. Then he has a 2-hour finance class, then a 2-hour Japanese class, that's his minor, then a quick lunch, half hour to get over to the football meeting, so he can't even get in there between plays. You know?
And study from 8 to 12 when he finally gets back to his room.
A 3.5 student, an academic All-America candidate. You see, and after lunch, football meetings, then a naval engineering class, and then you hustle over to dress for the football practice, lift weights after the practice, go over to dinner, and at 8 o'clock, then you get to head to your room and study or to the library.
You talk about a Renaissance man. I mean, not only that, he's a tenor in the choir at the university. He does just about everything, and our guy has a real sense of the importance of being a captain at Navy.
Follow in the footsteps of the heroes that preceded him. Good pass to Rampani, and Rampani, the big play receiver for Navy, is all the way to the Notre Dame 41-yard line and a first down. Make that Matt O'Donnell who makes the play, and a flag goes down late at the spot of the tackle. So O'Donnell, who has 17 catches to lead Navy this year, a big play over the middle of 24 yards and perhaps more.
Yeah, really quick after the catch too, Dick.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Just what the midshipmen need. That's Deke Cooper, number 1, coming off the field. But this was a really important drive for the midshipmen. Down 14-0. Ordinarily, this wishbone is a good keep-away offense, not necessarily a great catch-up offense. But if you can get plays like this out of your wide receivers, good block down there by one of his wide receivers. I didn't see the late hit, but nonetheless another 15 yards for the midshipmen.
Navy's deepest penetration just outside the Irish 25 with Fay in motion. Madden keeps it and struggles inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. A gain of nearly 7 before Grant Irons can track him down.
And you know, for the midshipmen, down 14-0, this becomes 4-down zone. They go for it a lot on 4th down. I think that's Deke Cooper, number 1. It is. He came off the last play, but Charlie Weatherby and most coaches who coach wishbones go for it a lot on 4th down, particularly when you get inside the 30-yard line.
2nd down and 4. Travis Williams, the lone wide receiver, he's to the left. And the fullback, it's Lambert, first down at the Notre Dame 11-yard line. 8 yards for Raheem Lambert from Riverside, California. raised in Belize in Central America.
Yeah, good offensive line blocking. They pull their guards a lot on some lead blocks, and then, you know, Raheem Lambert just tries to squeeze behind it. You're so close to the line of scrimmage in this fullback position as in the wishbone. It's hard to be patient, but that was a patient run by Lambert.
Marlon Terrell replaces him at fullback, number 18, as Brian Madden changing plays. He's going to keep it. 10, 5, touchdown! Brian Madden's first collegiate score as a runner. Had 91 yards on this season, and Madden, the young sophomore, leads his team to a scoring drive and right back into the game.
Absolutely. It was a terrific drive. You know, a good throw, but this was run. Watch, he's going to catch. He's going to get a good block up here by this wide receiver. And then as soon as he sees that the slither of opening, he just takes it. He becomes a fullback and gets in the end zone.
Try for point by Tim Shubsta, and he knocks it through. And it's a 14-7 game as the midshipmen march 67 yards in 6 plays with the first-time starter Brian Madden, 11 yards in the score. Brian Madden with a call from upstairs, perhaps a congratulations as he little smile there. 14-7 with less than 6 minutes remaining in the first half, and Tim Shubsta to kick it off for Navy. Terrence Howard and Julius Jones are back for the Irish. From the left hash mark, Shubsta's kick to Jones at the 5. Breaks a couple of tackles and gets out to around the 27-yard line. Tackle made by Eric Homa, sophomore from Pottsville, Pennsylvania, and Jamie McIlvain on the special teams, Plano, Texas. Tom Lipinski sees his first duty at fullback today, the 259-pound sophomore from Hudson, Ohio.
He is a large fullback.
Used sparingly. The fullback's not seeing much ball carrying duty this year. It's to the tailback, and Terrence Howard streaks out to the 40, the 41-yard line, and a first down. How big is Lipinski, or how small is the Navy defense? 259 pounds. Take Rhino out of there at 290.
He's bigger than everybody else on the entire defense. I mean, that's the amazing thing. And yet Navy just keeps hanging in there, down by 7. It's a physical mismatch.
Howard again, and the Navy team, and the way they think and the way we hear them talk, they're just that one big tackle and a turnover from, you know, getting really seriously into this game.
Well, you know, they say, when you talk to the Navy guys, they say, you know, we're underdogs every week. The only times we're not underdogs is in war. You know, they say, but in football games, we're underdogs. And we know we're going to be outsized every week, but we think we can play with these guys. We think we can beat them.
So Gino Marchetti, named after the great Baltimore Colt defensive end. He's only 240. Jackson able to kick free and still on his feet, but here they come. Roll call to the ball.
Yeah, you're right. Well, it's 5-6 white jerseys around Jarius Jackson. The roll call to the ball is the right call. I mean, again, very, very quick, determined type of guys. You know, after the Army game and after the Air Force game, this is the most important game on Navy's schedule. 2 or 3 different shots, but still, what, 4 white jerseys there around Jackson.
That brings up third down and a long 3.
Important down for Navy's defense.
Quarterback draw. And he does Jackson.
I think just short.
Doesn't get to the 50-yard line, and that's where the yardstick rests. You can see actually just on the Navy side of the 50. So we'll bring up 4th down and a short yard with Bob Davie be willing to gamble.
You know, I think when you outweigh the defense by, you know, 50, 60 pounds a man, I think this is the time you go for it. I mean, I'd come in with 2 tight ends, run it, really, one of their outside linebackers, John Chavis, is only 200 pounds.
But he'll play it conservatively because you don't make it and you give Navy the ball on your half of the field with 3:27 left.
I just think when you have the physical mismatch here, this is the time you go for it.
Is it indeed? Yes, it is a punt. We had Beckstrom in motion, and Hillbold's punt very high, taken up to 10. Billy Hubbard.
He's just not going to fair catch. He is just not going to fair catch the ball.
A flag is down. A flag down back at the line of scrimmage. And let's check on that penalty as NBC musical director drops the baton as we see the signal. It is against Notre Dame. In motion, you had a wide man Beckstrom moving inside to pick up his block. And on the line of scrimmage, that is not allowed. Had he been in the backfield, a different matter.
I think they're going to force him to punt it again, and you can bet Billy Hubbard's going to try to return it.
Illegal motion on the kicking team. Lineman on the line of scrimmage was illegally in motion. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Ever play lacrosse? I know you were a big star in croquet and cricket over at Oxford.
I never played lacrosse.
A lot of lacrosse players on this out of high school on this Navy team. Of course, a big sport in the East.
Yeah, including Hubbard. His uncle played lacrosse at Navy.
Hubbard again. Just thought maybe we'd bring in some of the vernacular of the game there. A little opening for you. Oh, off the side of his foot. Almost missed it completely. Now that's one Hubbard can't return.
Away.
It will be Navy's ball at the 23-yard line on a 33-yard punt by Joey Hillbold. Just under 3 minutes remaining before halftime. Notre Dame by 7. Back in sunny northern Indiana, a 70-degree day, and underdog Navy with a ball at the midshipman 23-yard line. Oh, Bob Davie and punter Hillbold.
Yeah. Punters are always trying to explain, it was going off the side of my foot, and it's punt. And Weatherby is saying, way to go, guys. Let's get after it.
What's the common language? You don't think you're a punter.
Get it off.
How many times you heard that?
Yeah.
We don't pay you to think.
Yeah, hurts the team.
Here's that quarterback draw, and Madden hammered at the 25-yard line. Devin Harper in from the corner.
Well, 2:48 remaining in the second quarter. Navy has all 3 timeouts. It's been an uninspired Notre Dame effort so far, and Navy got themselves right back in this ball game with the last drive. I mean, this drive would really, if they could get something going, would really make Notre Dame fans a little anxious.
Yeah, Madden, the workhorse, as you can see, all but 6 of the 21 rushes by the quarterback and sophomore. Gives the fullback this time. Ooh, Lambert hit hard. Raheem Lambert, as Pat told you earlier, heavily recruited in the West. Stanford wanted him, California, Northwestern in the Big Ten, but he had his sights set on the Naval Academy.
I think his mom really encouraged him to go to the Naval Academy. She said, you can get a job. You'll have a job when you graduate. You always listen to your mother.
That's right.
And most of these guys do, along with their company leaders, they listen.
5-year commitment after their education at Annapolis. 3rd down. And a short 5. Bad incomplete. He threw several Notre Dame defenders trying to hit Brandon Rampani.
It was. Sometimes his passes look like punts, Dick. And Charlie Weatherby was talking to us about Brian Madden's throwing, and he said, his passes are not pretty, and they normally get there. They normally get there.
Right. Well, that stops the clock. 1:44, and so Notre Dame is going to have fairly good field position and enough time themselves to add to the 14-7 lead. Jones back at the 32. Kick by Collish is well done. Drives Jones back inside the 20. And he cannot extricate himself from that ankle tackle. Down to make the play was Marcus Jackson. He got hold of one ankle and tenaciously drags Jones down. So with 1:29 left in the half, Notre Dame will have it when we return. It's 14-7. Reminder to stay with us at half for the Sun America halftime report. Hannah Storm on hand with scores and highlights. preview of the upcoming NBA season. That's all coming up at halftime. The Irish with their worst starting position of this game at the 17-yard line, and Jarius Jackson with a minute and a half left in the half can't find Terrence Howard in the flat.
Well, Jarius Jackson's been off on some of his throws. He has really thrown the ball short a few times. Now he's still struggling with a little turf toe that he's battled most of the year. He knows he missed another opportunity there. Missed Joey Getherall on a big play over the middle.
Jackson is 7 for 15 in the half, 94 yards.
3 timeouts remaining. You know, they have not been sharp offensively. You know, and when they've needed a big play, it's really come from Jarius Jackson.
Tony Fisher now playing a fullback position with Howard at tailback. Jarius Jackson rolling, throwing low, and incomplete. Getherall with a trap.
Notre Dame looks like they are suffering the effects of a week off. 2 weeks off. They just are not sharp yet. Jackson's had guys open, has not been able to get him the ball, and Joey Getherall was open. And again, just a trap. You know, all of his throws have been low.
Brings up 3rd and 10. Very little time used to 1:20 left in the half.
Yeah, and again, I think Navy, this is where you really worry about Jarius Jackson. I think more as a runner than perhaps a thrower.
Eludes the rush and is tackled at the 17-yard line. No gain, and
Navy should call
Navy
timeout.
does call time. David Rhino and company making the stop for the midshipmen.
Yeah, Mike McGee in there, David Rhino, appropriate name for that big nose tackle. The one guy with real size in that team. But now Navy uses one of their timeouts. We'll have 2 remaining, down by 7. This man, who was, like I said, a very good punt returner. His father went to Navy, played on the lightweight football team. I guess they don't call them the lightweights anymore, but.
Well, while we have a moment, let's talk about a real heavyweight. What a tragic week it's been for anyone in sport and anyone who knew Payne Stewart, and our heartfelt sympathies to Tracy and children Chelsea and Aaron. He was a man of Payne Stewart that I found of style and substance, and that smile was just unlike any I ever met in sport. And, we wish not only his family but the families of those who perished our deepest sympathies.
Blocked by Navy and a touchdown for the midshipmen. It's covered by number 16 of Navy, Chris Oliver. Oliver, a defensive back, as Hildbold didn't have a chance. Did they swarm in on the Notre Dame punter?
Notre Dame's poor offense that last series really set that up. But Charlie Weatherby's, right off the corner. Here's 16 off the right side. He picked it up. It was blocked by a different player. I think it was Lepore.
Lepore, who's made nothing but defensive plays. He smothered the kick. And Oliver recovers for a Navy touchdown. And suddenly, here's the try for point to tie the game. A hesitation by Shubsta, but he knocks it through. So with 1:07 left in this first half, the underdogs from Navy block the kick. It's Lepore and Oliver, 2 defensive backs, collaborating for the touchdown.
Worst sound for a punter is that double thud. You hear the thud off your foot and then the double thud when it gets blocked. And Chris Lepore, a big special teams play. This is a guy that does not get off the field much. Lepore, only when he's injured. They tackle after tackle in this first half, and blocks that one, gets Navy even. But really, the Notre Dame offense, I think, did a really poor job that last series. Lepore's number 26 right here on the far right. He's the guy that's going to kind of work his way inside.
Good snap. Hildbold a bit deliberate, and boy, did Lepore take that right off his foot.
Yeah, took a really good angle. He hit that corner, he turned that shoulder like a pass rusher almost. Dick? Those pass rushers get that shoulder turned. Great angle.
Is there anything that lifts a team more than a special teams quick touchdown on a block kick? And Charlie Weatherby congratulating his men as Navy celebrates a touchdown that ties it with 1:07 left in the half. That's going to awaken the Notre Dame fans. You got look at the brigade across the way standing and cheering.
Wake up the echoes. 35 straight Notre Dame has won, but these guys don't care. Those guys in the stands and the guys in the field.
It's interesting psychologically how they turned it around. So that wasn't our fault. We have a chance to be the first. And then they can look back at the last time someone beat Notre Dame was the '99 team. Shubsta kicks it high and over the head of Howard, held by the wind, and Howard tracks it down for the touchback.
Well, as good as that special team play was, I mean, Notre Dame had such a poor offensive series. Jarius Jackson had receivers wide open, and they should have had 2 or 3 first downs. Now, Jarius Jackson's struggling a lot, and maybe they need to get him running a little bit more, get him back into rhythm. But with 1:07, they still have 3 timeouts. 14-14 ball game. You would ordinarily run your 2-minute drill here.
It's been a conservative game plan. You figure that you have all the odds in your favor. You're bigger, you're faster, you're deeper. Notre Dame, you're at home against a team that lost their homecoming game to Akron a week ago with a 23-0 lead. Navy unable to hold on for the victory, but they're battling the midshipmen today, and so the handoff goes inside to Fisher, and Fisher hit by number 58 Ryan Hamilton and 90 Michael Wagner for short yardage, and it appears that Bob Davie not going to take any chances. He's seen his team lose a 14-0 lead here in the second quarter.
You know, I think he feels his quarterback is a little numb right now. Maybe bring him in at halftime, settle him down, talk to him, regroup, because this has not been a good offensive show for the Irish in the first half.
Again to Fisher to the 26-yard line. And will Navy use a timeout here, recognizing that Notre Dame trying to run out the clock. Gino Marchetti, number 98, made that last tackle. Marchetti, whose real name is Michael J. Marchetti, but was given the tag in the 5th grade, Gino, understandably, with the last name Marchetti. He said he finally got a chance last year to have dinner with his mother and father with the real Gino Marchetti. And the way he said it, he was just in awe of meeting where he said he was bigger and nicer than I could ever have imagined.
He loves the game, doesn't he? He's one of those guys that kind of took your lunch money away from you when you were a kid, you know, just really loves the tough and rumble kind of guy.
3D operations will keep him off a ship as he does his duty, but he'll find a way. His dad, of course, played at Navy, a running back, graduated in '70.
Look at his helmet. He's got a little abuse there on his helmet. I think he's knocked a few heads.
Battle ribbons up there.
Wow. Now that's a defensive end's helmet.
You know, the one thing you have to share with our football audience in visiting Navy and visiting Notre Dame, it is so inspiring to sit down with these young men, and both these institutions where discipline and order and intelligence and athletic, they all come together. It just makes you feel so good about the future.
Absolutely. I mean, the commitment by these players. This is an example you really can't. You know, everybody's cynical about student athletes. These guys are truly
on both sides of the ball. It's underline the scholar or student, and then the athlete is something you can do too. So 3rd down after the Navy timeout, 3rd and 4. And now Jackson to throw. Hit from the backside, incomplete. And look who was sneaking through there. David Alexander trying to cut in front of the intended receiver. And now the punting team comes on.
A bit surprised there, Dick, on the pass, because, you know, if incomplete, Navy doesn't have to use a timeout. So Navy still has a timeout remaining with 24 seconds. I would have expected with 24 seconds a Jarius Jackson, you know, quarterback draw kind of play.
And wouldn't you try to go after the punter again?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, he had a shank on the prior punt, and the last one was blocked. So I'd come after him one more time.
The freshman Hill Bowl drops back.
Here's where the guys came from up here in the top before. Here's Chris Lepore. They're bringing an extra guy down to block him.
Yeah, 2 men. Both the wide men come inside now. And
they were coming after him. They didn't get it off.
Beautiful kick that won't count.
Yeah.
Oh, he hit that one all the way inside the 25 at the other end, but
delay of the game on the kicking team. 5 yards. 4th down.
So what Navy has done to block the kick, they're bringing everyone inside. They're not trying to knock down the outside men that go down field. And suddenly Irish realize they've got to bring those men back inside to help out the blocking scheme.
And give Charlie Weatherby some credit. Their snapper, Dan O'Leary for the Irish, he has had trouble with these long snaps. They've wobbled. These punters have had trouble holding on to them. Here comes up here again.
Overloaded. 24 seconds left in the half. Oh, just did get that one away. Hubbard waits at the fumbles the ball and is able to recover at the 38-yard line. 42-yard punt under heavy pressure by Hildbold.
Well, they have a kicker, Tim Schunsbaugh, who has a long field goal this year of 49 yards, so they'd have to get down to maybe a 30-yard line or so to give themselves a decent chance.
That's like one big play with 15 seconds left. Well, a remarkable effort by Navy, coming in here with the thoughts by most outside of Annapolis that they had little chance at 2-5 on the season, but they, true to form, they play hard every play, and they've had a scheme. They're not going to take a chance here. They're going to kneel down.
I think they're very happy to be tied at halftime.
Well, they've kept it even, and so now it's a 30-minute game. The Irish score first. Jackson to Brown, 31-yard touchdown pass. Howard 1 yard out, made it 14-0. But Brian Madden, the young quarterback for Navy, 11 yards, 14-7. And the block punt by Lepore, covered by Oliver, ties it at 14. And that must please Navy head coach Charlie Weatherby. Let's go down to the field.
All right, Dick, thank you. And Charlie, first of all, you're down 14-0. An inspirational comeback. Defense, special teams made big plays, but you solved the problems with the penalties on offense. Did that turn it around?
Well, yeah, we shot ourselves in the foot there in that first quarter with about 4 or 5 penalties, and you can't afford to do that when you're moving the football. You know, we've kind of stopped ourselves there. Very impressed with the way the defense have come back and played, and offensively taking the ball in and scoring, and what a great punt block. We've got another half to play.
Indeed we do. Charlie, thank you very much for your time and best of luck in the second half. Dick, before I send it back to you, 35 years ago this game was tied at the half when Notre Dame won, or I should say Notre Dame lost for the last time. Back to you guys.
That's right. It was 7-7, and then Navy scored 4 consecutive touchdowns led by Roger Staubach, eventually winning 35-14, and Staubach on to win the Heisman Award. 14-14, Navy and Notre Dame in their 73rd renewal. Now let's go to New York City. The Sun America halftime report and Hannah Storm.
Second half, and I think, you know, that first possession is really going to be important for Notre Dame. That'll set the tone for the whole second half for them.
Something about the Halloween weekend, the masquerading that this Notre Dame team not playing up to their full potential. And who are these fellas from Minneapolis today?
You know, they told us on Thursday that we expect to win, and they've played like it all game.
Well, it's whether you're knocking the door for the candy, but my day, boy, there was nothing like dunking for apples. Did you ever dunk for apples?
I did, yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Some of your relatives are here. There.
Found some
winners, huh? Those cymbal players, they make what? Applesauce.
That's how you make applesauce.
We'll be right back.
No doctors around there.
Anything goes in South Bend this weekend, Halloween weekend. 14 all the score. Let's go to Paul Sunderland.
Well, I had a chance to speak, Dick, with not a very pleased, as you might imagine, Bob Davie. A couple of things about the penalties. Lack of concentration also allowed Navy to get some momentum in the second half. They did not complete their assignments against the option. I also asked him about Jarius Jackson and why the struggles. Was it because of the layoff? He said that's absolutely no excuse. And then he reiterated, as he had to us yesterday, just find a way to beat Navy. That was his message. Don't look forward, don't look back. He knew this was going to be a difficult game, and he's got it. Back to you guys.
All right, Paul, thank you. And Davey, who was coached as an assistant the military, understands how hard they play, and he told us, he said, we're not trying to beat them 30-0 as you see the last 3 games and how well they played in the second half. Because we asked the logical question, what if you get way ahead in the game? Will we see some of those young players that have not appeared this year? He wouldn't have any of that. And it appears that he has prophesied correctly as this second half starts with a good coverage on the kickoff as Terrence Howard dropped well inside his own 20-yard line, and it's Zach Otto, a junior from Georgetown, Texas, who makes the stop inside the 15-yard line.
Well, there's some of his struggles. 7 of his last 9 passes have been incomplete, with most of those guys being open. He is just not in rhythm today. And, you know, this possession is really, I think, very, very important for him and this Irish team.
So from the 14-yard line. Good speed, and Fisher behind Jarius Jackson with Givens in motion. It's Fisher up the middle. And he's met by who else but Chris Lepore.
Well, you know, it's interesting. Give Tim DeRuta, the defensive coordinator, some credit. He knows he's playing against a quarterback he's struggling. And he knows that Notre Dame's going to try to come out and run it. He had 9 guys up at the line of scrimmage that time, including Lepore and Doppelmayr.
Now they score first 2 of the 4 possessions, does Notre Dame, and then the punt, and then the crucial block punt for a Navy touchdown that tied the game just before the half. 2nd down 8. Jabari Holloway shifts to the left side. Fisher and Howard. It's a new backfield combination. Tony Fisher at a fullback position, and Jackson on the option. Tosses to Fisher. Turns the corner. Ouch. Man, is he hit at the 30-yard line by Jamie Doffermeyer, the co-captain, number 24.
Yeah, Jamie Doffermeyer said to us, you know, 2 years ago I kind of played on special teams, but I couldn't wait to play defense at Notre Dame Stadium. Now this is what they call their pony team, with Fisher at fullback and this time Terrence Howard at tailback. But watch the hit here. Boom. It wasn't an illegal hit, wasn't in the face, but he gave a pretty good shot going out of bounds.
But Fisher, nevertheless, with 14 yards on the play and a first down at the 30, and a timeout called by Notre Dame. So that's not unlike the start of 2 weeks ago against USC to begin the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's go back to the last play. Jamie Doffermeyer, he's saying turn the clock back an hour early.
Oh, wow. Ouch.
That is a solid tackle by the 190-pound senior.
He was one of those guys with whom we spoke this week, and you know, when you looked at his eyes, he absolutely expected to win this ball game. He was convinced of it. One of their co-captains.
That I grow through challenges, and that was the message he gave to his defensive team members. It's first down, Notre Dame at the 30, and Jackson comes out, makes the toss to Howard, and Howard, 15, 19 yards for Terrence Howard, all the way to midfield.
Little change of pace for Kevin Rogers and on the offense of Notre Dame. The last couple of plays, outside plays. There's Kevin Rogers with his 120 play call sheet there. Again, they've had some success outside. They pounded the middle a lot in the first half. They've clearly decided in the second half they want to get the ball to the perimeter, and most of the big plays in college football come in the perimeter.
Lepore in on another tackle at midfield. Number 26. Assisted by John Chavis. It's to Fisher to the Navy 46-yard line. Marchetti and Ryan Hamilton with a stop.
This is kind of what Notre Dame needs, a grinded out series. I mean, even if they don't necessarily even score, they just need to kind of get back and find some sort of rhythm.
Using 2 tight ends, Holloway and O'Leary, and much the strategy that you figured we'd see into the first half.
Pounded right at those small linebackers. One of them's 200 pounds.
Jackson has Getherall open, hits him this time, and he's out of bounds for the first down at the Navy 35. In front of Baz Williams, 11 yards.
Joey Getherall never takes a play off. It's a running play. He's going to go down and block a linebacker, block a safety, block a corner. And he generally runs the inside routes. This time they turned it around, have a little square out. He'd been open earlier on the same route at the end of the first half. This time, good throw by Jackson.
Son of a Los Angeles police detective. His sister Tina, 28, also an LAPD detective. This time it's Fisher, short yardage, a couple. Brad Wimsatt and others in on the stop. And we talked about recruiting to Charlie Weatherby of Navy, and he said, I may not get all the biggest and the fastest. He said, but what I do get is really something special. He said it's a highly motivated achiever who expects to be disciplined. And I love the line he followed with, I never see a player take a lazy step in practice.
You know, these guys want to play Division 1A ball. They're getting their chance, and they love it. They know they have only 4 years of it.
Jackson fumbles the snap, but alertly picks it up and fires over the head of Getherall. Well, at that point, he's in a sub-panic situation. He just wants to get rid of a loss, although Getherall was open.
And that's a full panic, not even a sub-panic. I mean, he knew he didn't have much time because he's gotten some pressure on him because they've been blitzing. Getting 8-9 guys up toward the line of scrimmage, but he has thrown the ball, well, generally low today. This one's a high ball, but Getherall has been open on the outside. He's run inside routes where he's been open, and Indeed, he felt he should have caught that one.
So a big 3rd and 8 for Notre Dame to start this second half as they are tied 14-14 with Navy. Here comes the blitz. Jackson able to get away. And Jackson fights his way to the 30, make it the 27-yard line, short of a first down. Marchetti and McGee, the tacklers.
Well, Mike McGee, number 48, what a hustling play by Mike McGee, the linebacker. Wow.
4th down 2.
And they're going to go for it here. Either that or going to try to draw him offside.
Signal in the muscle offense. That usually means 2 tight ends.
And you'll see John Chavis, he's a 200-pound linebacker. They take him out when they see the 2 tight end team come in.
At power formation. And now they put Fisher on the wing. And they give to Howard inside, and he did not make it. They stuff him at the 26-yard line, and Navy again comes up with a big defensive play to start this second half.
You know, absolutely incredible to me, Dick. Again, we're talking about offensive linemen all the way 300 or more for Notre Dame, and there's no movement here. No movement.
Filling the hole, it was Matt Daigneault from Center Harbor, New Hampshire, who made the tackle, and Navy takes over on downs at the mid 26-yard line, tied at 14. We're back at Notre Dame, and Navy with a brilliant defensive stand, taking over on downs at their 26-yard line. Sophomore starter Brian Madden keeps the ball and lurches forward for about 4. Joe Farrar made the tackle. Let's go back to that defensive stand on 4th and 2.
A lot of really good players. Watch number 55 Hill right here, and then number 47 Daigneault. He feels he comes in behind him, and they absolutely stone the running back. Needed 2. Good play by Daigneault, led by Darrell Hill.
Chris Lepore there, a second support. 2nd down and 6. The fullback. And it's Lambert, Raheem Lambert, who is the number 2 rusher and averaging nearly 6 yards a carry on the season. Lamont Bryant makes the stop. 7 yards and a first down for Lambert.
Boy, if you can get that fullback going, Dick, and that wishbone offense, you really have a chance then to get those pitches. And Lambert's had some good games. 99 yards against Georgia Tech, and then 92 against Kent. A 79-yard run against Rice.
Fay in motion. Lambert, and almost a fumble. Madden, in fact, after he handed off, looking back quickly as if maybe the exchange was not that clean.
Well, that's a true option. I mean, the fullback, Raheem Lambert, doesn't really know if he's going to get the ball or not. And so I think they both wanted on that one.
Gain of a couple of yards, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, it's a true double option. You see the quarterback looking at the defensive end. If he sees the defensive end pinch down, then he keeps the ball. If the defensive end goes wide, he gives the ball to the fullback.
It did look like Madden wanted to keep it. Yeah. Lambert said, no, I got it. I got the pumpkin. Throw by Madden to the sideline, incomplete, intended for Brandon Rampani. Joe Farrar applying pressure on the thrower. Brings up 3rd down and 8.
3rd down.
There's that 3rd down. They want to be 3rd down and 2 or 3.
2 of 5 here. What, they're 3rd and 8 now, Dick?
At the Navy 39-yard line. Vereen in motion. Got some room now. Madden throws downfield. Complete. And out of bounds at the Irish 41-yard line to Travis Williams. Williams, a tall target, 6'3" senior from Lexington, North Carolina. He has already been named as a participant in the Hula Bowl in January.
He is a big target, 6'3", over 200 pounds. Really a devastating blocker. They use him a lot on crackback blocks. And that was a well-thrown ball in between those 2 defenders.
Deke Cooper and Devin Harper, and he somehow got it through the Irish defense. And both 2 men in motion, and then a fumble, and Notre Dame appears to have recovered at the 50-yard line. Yes, they have.
Now there is a flag,
but I believe it's against Navy. 2 men were in motion. There are 2 flags down, however.
Illegal shift on the offense. Penalty is declined. First down.
Well, remember, Coach Weatherby said to us that the last 4 games that he's coached against Notre Dame, his team has turned the ball over 15 times. Now, this was a counter play. Again, this is the ball Madden should not have pitched. There wasn't the right distance. There wasn't the right separation between himself and the running back. It was just, he should have just kept the ball on that one.
And Anthony Denman alertly, number 39, has his eyes on the ball.
And Devin Harper does a real good job of keeping number 4, Vereen, away from the ball.
So the turnover at the 49 of Notre Dame, and the Irish need a break. The momentum had shifted. Tied at 14, 10 minutes left in the third. Jackson with a pitch. Terrence Howard with some running room and a block, and finally knocked out of bounds. Make that Julius Jones, 22 and 32, and built along the same line. Jones with his speed, 17 yards and a first down.
Yeah, well, you know, their big plays this half, 3 of them, have come on the outside with option plays.
Jarius Jackson with the early toss on that option and setting it up for Jones, who's having his best day. 62 yards.
Jersey, he's holding.
And it's Jones again.
Boy, Stoffmeyer.
He hit by Jamie Doffermeyer.
Oh, boy, those guys hit.
What must he be like on the lacrosse field? Flags go down after the tackle.
Doffermeyer said, you know, he tackled Jarius Jackson last year and said stiff for 2 weeks.
Dead ball. Personal foul on the offense. 15 yards. Second down.
And the penalties have hurt Notre Dame, some 60 yards in the first half. Let's see what happens.
This one's a really killer because you're in scoring territory. And Doffermeyer's going to come over here from the right part of the screen, just drill Julius Jones.
Personal foul penalty.
Don't see anything there. Doffermeyer, one of the 2 co-captains, a role taken very, very seriously by captains at Navy. And this guy can play.
Part of their training is who are the leaders, and they all are.
He's a leader of leaders.
When you're named by your teammates, so that is a high distinction. So after the penalty, Jackson on 2nd and 20. Throws too tall for Joey Getherall. And a reminder, next Sunday at 3 Eastern, some of the world's elite distance runners gather in the Big Apple for the 30th annual running of the New York City Marathon. 2-time defending champion Kenyan John Kagwe headlines the field of thousands as they run through the New York 5 boroughs. New York City Marathon coming to NBC for the first time next Sunday at 3 Eastern, only on NBC.
And in honor of that, I'm going to drive a marathon on Saturday. How about that?
The spirit.
That last mile up the hill
goes so deep. 3rd and 20. Jackson under pressure, hit as he throws, goes deep, intercepted. Baz Williams able to pick it off, and Williams down at the 5-yard line, and Notre Dame stopped again.
That is a heck of a play by Williams. On the 42-yard line. Navy players are clapping as it appears to be against. It is against Notre Dame.
That's the 3rd personal foul against the Irish, so they're losing some of their poise.
Yeah, 2 in this series. But what a play by Baz Williams. Timed it
After
perfectly.
the play is over, we have a dead ball. Personal foul on Notre Dame, 15 yards. First down.
So that takes Navy from the 5 to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, you watch how Baz Williams, you know, he just reads it perfectly. Then he becomes a receiver. First he was the defender, fingertip catch. Well, that's you know, he had him covered all the way. And the penalty. Yeah, they called it a Mike Gandy. I'm not sure it was deserving of a penalty, but they called it on him.
That's a love push in football.
Yeah. Ouch.
And a gain of only a yard for fullback Raheem Lambert as Bryant and Farrar team up on the tackle. Now maybe there was something more to that personal foul than what we saw initially by Gandy.
Gandy's number 69.
Well, that's the one that got him. Pushed to the face mask. 2nd and 9. Will keep it.
and gains about 4. Devon Harper with a tackle. It'll be 3rd down and 5. And injured downfield is wide receiver Travis Williams as he threw a block on Clifford Jefferson.
Well, those two have been going after it all game long. You know, they go out and stock block, they get for him, and then they cut him. And then the wide receivers of Navy, and he and Clifford Jefferson have really been going after one another this entire ball game.
So Williams out. And Dave Rottenbach, who caught a touchdown pass against Akron, the first catch by a tight end in the Navy in 5 years. Last week. The draw, and Madden's got room to run. And runs through some tackles on a 1st down at the 39. 13 more for Madden, who is working toward a possible century mark in his first start as a Navy quarterback.
Well, is it appropriate to say he's got tugboat speed on that one? He was running through some traffic. Really could. The quarterback draw all the way, a lot like Notre Dame uses Jarius Jackson. Going to get some real good lead blocks. In the last 4 yards, he just breaks tackles.
72 yards now for Madden rushing as he replaces the injured Brian Broadwater. Keeps it again. Nothing much this time to the 40-yard line, a gain of 1. Part of the Navy strategy and part of the strength of this offense, Pat Hayden, is not the fact that ball control, eat up the clock, keep your smaller defense on the sideline.
Generally, Bob Dade was saying we have many fewer possessions against the Navy in the academies with the Rather Wishful because they possess the ball so much. It's it's a keep away offense.
2nd and a long 8 as Madden changes his call.
And he's waiting for Notre Dame to shift, and then he calls an audible.
Still has 6 seconds on the play clock. Wheels around the left corner this time. Keeps his balance at the 50. He's to the Notre Dame 42-yard line. And Madden now with 18 more yards, so he suddenly is at the 92-yard mark for the day.
The option offense is so remarkable to me because you see defenders running away from the ball. Johnny Sanders, he comes up to the line of scrimmage. As soon as he sees a shift, then he calls an audible. He's waiting for Notre Dame to shift. This is part of their strategy: get to the line of scrimmage, wait for Notre Dame to shift, then call the audible. And then Johnny Sanders runs away from the ball because he's got the pitch man and allows Madden to pick up the 1st.
And now the fullback, Lambert, breaking a tackle, 30, still on his feet to the 25-yard line. And the Navy offense finding some holes that weren't there in the opening half. And they're building confidence.
And momentum and all the things that go along with some pretty good play, good physical play. Now they're in man-on-man blocking, which you don't expect with this, with a size disadvantage. But they do a good job. Lambert kind of scoots through a little hole there. Now they're in that 4-down territory if they need it.
199-pound Raheem Lambert, 17 yards on the last carry. 1st down at the Irish 25. It's Lambert again, and he bulls his way to the 13-yard line and a dozen more. Cooper and Sanders, the 2 Notre Dame safeties, make the tackle.
Well, the academies and Navy run the option play for a couple of reasons. I mean, little preparation time generally. You don't need dominant offensive linemen. Watch these offensive guards doing their thing. These guys really kind of pull and trap, very quick on the light on their feet, athletic offensive linemen.
1st down, Navy at the 13. So Madden resets, checks that defense.
Yep.
Madden keeping at the 10. Fumble the ball, and Notre Dame recovers. Oh, what a big play as Rocky Boyman finds the loose ball. So what appeared to be the best drive of the game by the midshipmen ends with a fumble at the Notre Dame 8-yard line. It remains 14-all. So the Navy drive ends inside the Notre Dame 8-yard line, and here's the defensive play by the Irish.
Yeah, D. Cooper, number 1. He's got Madden in his sights, and he just wait. He just drills. Watch the helmet on the ball. I mean, that shakes his Boyman, number 30, is there to make the recovery. That's good team defense. But, boy, D. Cooper ran the alley. They call it running the alley when you're playing against option teams. That's his responsibility. And he did it particularly well on that play.
And that stops a Navy drive that was really cooking.
They were finding the right holes until the big play by Cooper. That's his third forced fumble. He had 3 last year to lead Notre Dame, and once again with his big hits in the secondary. Turning it over. It's Julius Jones, and he's hit in the backfield by Chris Lepore.
Oh, man. This Chris Lepore, I mean, you know, you give up something. You know, if you know your free safety's there, you know you have some chances in the big passing game. But their coaches know Jarius Jackson struggled a little bit. You know, they're going to say, hey, we're going to play safeties up court close to the line of scrimmage until he beats us.
Watch Lepore, 26.
Yeah, he's going to show up right in the hole, where he's supposed to be. Good tackler, too. Not only does he show up, he tackles you.
Darrell Hill there for support. 2nd down and 9. Good speed, and Jones behind Jackson. Jarius on the roll. Throws. It's intercepted by Navy, and it's a touchdown for David Alexander. A flag is down in the end zone, however. David Alexander laying off his man and darts in front. Does the interception count?
Holding on the offense.
Yes, it does. Navy has taken the lead.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
The junior from Lorton, Virginia, David Alexander.
Their best cover guy. He felt that Joey Gatherow was going to run the out because he saw Jarius Jackson sprint out. It's tough to run a deep route when your quarterback's on the move. He guessed on the out, jumped on it, perfect coverage. He gets in the end zone to put Navy up on top by 6. Incredible play by Alexander.
21-yard interception return for the touchdown. Here's Tim Schubsta's try for point right down the middle, and the midshipmen of Navy, 21 unanswered points. Their first lead of the game. Jarius Jackson picked off by David Alexander, and with 5 minutes left in the third, Navy 21, Notre Dame 14. David Alexander's first interception is for a touchdown and a Navy lead. And that reminds us 2 years ago here at Notre Dame, the Irish trailed 17-14 late, and then Audrey Denson capped a 93-yard drive to give Notre Dame the lead, 21-17, the final play of the game. And the long hit off the helmet, and Navy appeared to have a miracle touchdown, but Allen Rossum makes the tackle at the 1-yard line, and Notre Dame survives a huge scare, 21-17.
This fired up midshipmen. Their team's pretty fired up. They should be. Up by 7 points. They have played remarkably well, even though they're outsized, outmanned. Notre Dame has much better athletes, but these guys, they expect to win.
A block punt for a touchdown, an interception for a touchdown. And now Schubsta's kickoff, sending Howard into the end zone by a yard.
No big hole there.
And did he step out of bounds? Yes, back at the 29-yard line. Well, it's the all-time record against a major opponent. 35 consecutive wins, Notre Dame over Navy. 32 for Oklahoma over Kansas State. There's another one alive. Nebraska's won 30 in a row against Kansas. They meet this weekend. And one might wonder, why do these two teams continue to play when it is lopsided?
Holding on the return.
Oh, yeah, everything going wrong.
Into the run. First down.
Notre Dame penalized for holding, and the answer is the good fathers here at Notre Dame, recognizing that in World War II, when this was an all-male school and many of the men were off defending their country, the school was about to close the doors. They didn't have enough students, and the midshipmen, Navy, sent their midshipmen here for an education. It kept Notre Dame going financially, and they've never forgotten that here at Notre Dame. So this series isn't ever going to end, I don't believe, even though the streak continues at 35. Or will it end today? The toss outside to Jones. What a block! And he's finally knocked out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, that was Goodspeed. You're right. What a block by Joey Goodspeed. But I tell you one thing about Notre Dame. Even though they trail here by 7, this is a determined team that does not get flustered when they're behind. They were behind 30-14 against Oklahoma. They came back to win. They were down 24-3. But watch Goodspeed, number 45. Yeah, right there on, I think that was Doffelmeyer. Good lead block by the fullback. This is a team that does not discourage easily.
First down at the 31 for the Irish. Up the middle, big hole, Jones. And he rips 11-yard gain before Rashad Jones can make the tackle.
Fayetteville, Georgia Jr. is Rashad Jones, whose father Bobby. Bob played 5 years in the NFL with Cincinnati and the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, Rashad Jones does fill up a huge hole here. I mean, this is what you kind of expect with that side. Look at Morandi, the center, doing his job. Morandi kind of knocked his guy out of the way, Rhino. A terrific hole there for Jones.
First down at the 43-yard line. Julius Jones now with 92 yards and his best showing of this season. Here comes Jarius Jackson. He keeps, cuts back, has an open field. Can anyone catch him? 30, 20, 10, it's a touchdown. Jarius Jackson at 57 yards. What a weapon he is. Jackson scores his 7th rushing touchdown and the longest of his career. Now the try for point to tie it up. Sophomore David Miller, and it is good.
Well, Dick, good teams can beat you a couple different ways, and good quarterbacks can beat you a couple different ways. If Jarius Jackson can't throw it to beat you, his legs can still do it. 57-yard jaunt ties the ball game.
81 yards and 3 plays for the Irish. Senior quarterback captain Jarius Jackson with a brilliant 57-yard touchdown run to tie Navy at 21 here late in the 3rd quarter. That was quite a series. 81 yards and went first down, touchdown.
Yeah, they've done a really much better job of getting the ball outside this second half, where they've had some big plays, including that run.
So Jim Sanson, the senior place kicker, they kick it off to Navy. Hits this one well, spins it deep into the end zone, and Vereen will kneel down for the touchback.
You know, the impromptu play by Jarius Jackson, one of those things you think you have him pretty well defended, but watch all these blocks that come down inside. He just got to cut it back. But it looked like Navy had him pretty well defended. Supposed to be an option to the left. All of a sudden he decides to change direction. Yeah, good block there. And then not too many guys catch him. Even though, the remarkable thing, Dick, we've seen him all year long. But 230 pounds, you don't see many guys catch him from behind, do you?
Not close that time. David Gibbons, wide receiver, appeared to throw that key block in the secondary. So Navy now with the game tied again. Starts from the 20. And it's the quarterback, Madden. 16 yards on first down for Madden, who goes over the 100-yard mark in his debut as the midshipman starting quarterback.
He was really making a run at the starting quarterback job this summer. I mean, he and Brian Broadwater both going after it, and Brian Madden had injured his groin earlier in training camp, didn't win the job. But the coaching staff, even though they like Broadwater, they were very happy to have Madden play today.
113 yards now for Madden. He has fumbled twice.
He's calling the audible again.
But he's done a solid job of leading this offense. And have to hurry now.
Yeah.
Didn't make it. But no flag. Keeps the ball. 40. And tackled at the 50. 14 more yards before Lamont Bryant can make the tackle. And just as Navy moved the ball in the last series before the Madden fumble inside the 10, ripping up big chunks.
Ordinarily, Dick, when you play against an option team, defensively you get into the rhythm. They kind of surprise you early in the game, but you kind of really settle down. But just the opposite has happened here. I mean, Navy got off to a slow start, but it's really picked up and gained momentum as the game has worn on.
Look how quickly out of the huddle Navy to set. So that gives them more time to audibilize. Fullback. Lambert driven back on a solid hit by Joe Farrar.
Yeah, Greg Madison, defensive coordinator, was talking to us yesterday about Joe Farrar. He said, about 3 games ago, we started watching the tapes, and all of a sudden, this number 41 kept showing up, kept flashing. He said, we got to give this guy a chance. Kind of wrestled the starting job away from Rocky Boyman and has played very, very well. And a good tackler. I mean, these Notre Dame linebackers are all good, solid tacklers. And that means when they hit you, you go backward.
Second down and 8. Madden throws complete, shy of the first down to Travis Williams, his rangy target. It'll bring up a third down and about 3.
Well, they did pretty good in the 3rd and 3 situations, 3 or less. It's those 3rd and 7 pluses where they've struggled a bit.
Williams had 12 catches last year and had 12 coming into today's game. Has added to that total. 3rd down and 3 for Navy, and they may be in 4-down territory. Fullback Lambert.
I think he got it.
He does, to the 39-yard line. Depending on the spot, however. Let's see if they place it on the 39. Yes, first down, Navy.
Yeah, Raheem Lambert is one of those fullbacks who can be a difference maker. And you look at those offensive linemen. I mean, these guys have done a pretty good job, too. Hatzidakis, Ye, Anderson, Davies, Winchester.
They average around 280 in the offensive line, about 25 pounds a man less than Notre Dame's offensive line. Madden, the keeper. And to the 35-yard line, nearly 4, as we remind you tonight on CNBC. The Olympic Show interviews Billy Mills, the upset gold medalist, 10,000 meters, 64 Tokyo Games. Mills rose from the obscurity of a Sioux Indian settlement in South Dakota to bring us one of the most electrifying victories in Olympic history. It's the Olympic Show tonight on CNBC. Check your local listings for the time in your area. American hero in those Olympics says they attend to the injured Notre Dame player Johnny Sanders, the safety who, like Cooper, those 2 senior safeties have been so important in the Irish success defensively this year.
He's their leading tackler, and a couple of interceptions this year, and a lot of crackback blocks by these Navy receivers. You're going to see number 5 in the blue jersey, who's Sanders, coming from the left-hand side. There he is right here, and that's a legal block, but ouch, ouch. As long as you block him above the waist, it's legal.
John Fay, 5'11", 192, but when you have that kind of angle and the other man isn't looking, you can be punishing with your block.
Yeah, they throw some devastating blocks.
2nd and 6. Just over a minute left in the 3rd. Tied at 21 here at Notre Dame. Underdog Navy on the march. Madden keeps it, gets a block. 1 man to beat and slides down at the 25. First down, Navy. 10 more yards for the sophomore quarterback Brian Madden.
They call it an option. I'm not so sure it is when Brian Madden takes the ball. It just seems that he really wants to keep the ball every time they call it. It's kind of a quarterback counter. If he got a block there, he's really gone. That's Rottenbach, the tight end.
Yeah, Clifford Jefferson was the only blue jersey in Madden's trip to the end zone. First down at the 25 of Notre Dame. Madden to throw, going deep, and fortunately for him, it was too long to Rampani, who was double covered by Deke Cooper and Devron Harper.
Yeah, they were hoping they were going to fool Deke Cooper, the free safety, and have a one-on-one situation, but the free safety was not fooled. You lull them into sleep. You run the option, run the option, run the option. Then it's the play action. You hope the safety's up there, and you have the one-on-one for the post pattern.
37 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. 21-21. 2nd down 10 as Madden changes his play again. Does not pitch. Keeps it.
Oh, boy. That was that was helmet knocked off.
Undressed as Lamont Bryant and Joe Farrar team up on the stop, and Madden a little slow getting that gear back on.
He runs like a wrestler. Yeah, he is slow getting up. I think Madden's shaken up a little bit as Navy calls timeout.
Now Navy with, as you watch it again, Brian Broadwater not even here. He broke his clavicle in the Akron game a week ago. Ed Malinowski, who has been moved up from the JVs, would be the next quarterback in line, and he has not taken a snap on the varsity.
Remember Weatherby said 4 times how tough he was? He said, this guy's a tough guy. They went on to say some other things. This guy's a tough guy. This guy's a tough runner, and indeed he is.
And as tough as he is, there's a strong spiritual side. The Oklahoma High School Christian Athlete of the Year. He, what a combination, an outstanding football player, a state champion wrestler, and the star of his golf team, a 3 handicap in golf. So they used the timeout to let Madden clear the cobwebs with 17 seconds left in the third quarter. And that Notre Dame sideline becoming increasingly anxious.
Yeah.
There's Malinowski. He's from Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, a sophomore.
Well, you know, Charlie Weatherby's in a situation now, you know, game tied at 21. We're about to head into the fourth quarter here shortly. 3rd and 8, and I think he's telling his quarterback, Ryan Madden, just be careful. I mean, know the situation of the game. We're probably in field goal range. You know, don't turn the ball over. No fumbles, no interceptions.
Third down and 8. At the Notre Dame 23.
Oh, that's
got to be a penalty. There's
yeah.
the flag, a late flag. The throw is complete to Matt O'Donnell, and unfortunately that one won't count.
Yeah, there's some early movement. I think it's what, the 4th or 5th motion penalty against Navy.
Someone on the left side.
Illegal motion on the offense. 5 yards. Previous spot. Repeat 3rd down.
Not only takes away a first down, Pat Hayden, but it moves them another 5 yards farther from the goalpost.
I think Charlie Weatherby's got motion sickness from all these.
Well, here's a head coach that last week against Akron had painful kidney stones and was in the press box on his back in pain for 3 quarters and was operated on Monday, and here he is back on fighting on the sidelines.
Calls their plays.
3rd and 13 from the Irish 28. Good protection. The throw, and no one there. As Travis Williams and the quarterback Madden not on the same page on that route. Now what do? Do you try the long field goal?
I think you have to.
Well, you've got the wind. It appeared the wind on the field was right to left and would aid the kicker Shubsta, whose longest is 49 yards.
He's had a trouble with the uprights. He had 4 kicks hit the crossbar or uprights this year.
Yeah, he's made 7, missed 7, but 4 of the 7 misses hit either the upright or the crossbar. This one, 45 yards. It is no good. Hooks to the left. Well, the Irish hold as 1 second remains here in the third quarter.
Well, just a little bit too much hook on it, but you know, the motion penalty really caused that problem. They would have had close to a first down on that pass reception had it not been the motion penalty.
That was down inside the 15-yard line. So Notre Dame, final play of the third quarter. Strong to the right as Holloway shifts. Good fake by Jackson. Looking deep. Now throws short, and what a catch by Brown, and Brown tripped up at the Navy 40-yard line. 2 men on Bobby Brown, and he speared it. 31 yards on the play. So Navy with 2 long drives, unable to connect, a fumble and a long field goal. Notre Dame on the move, tied at 21. They'll play 15 minutes to see who wins. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. And back at Notre Dame, we open the fourth quarter. The Irish at the Navy 41-yard line, tied at 21. Julius Jones, nothing inside. Outside he goes and picks up yardage to the 35, a gain of about 6 yards.
No, Dick, I think really the baton has been passed at Notre Dame to number 22, Julius Jones. I mean, I think this is the guy that they wanted all year to emerge as their dynamic running back, and he's playing more and more and more. Now in a critical part of the game tied, fourth quarter. Who's the tailback? Julius Jones.
And 8 yards shy of a 100-yard effort today. Now add 6 more to that. He's 12 for 98. He's now over 100 as he slashes to the 31-yard line, just short of a first down, it would appear. David Rhino and company, also Darrell Hill there for Navy.
Julius Jones, last outing 194 all-purpose yards against USC. They brought him along slowly, but the day he came on this campus at Notre Dame, all these offensive coaches couldn't wait to feed him the ball.
190-pound pure freshman from Big Stone Gap, Virginia. Fullback, good speed. And he is hit, but not until he has the first down and more near the 25-yard line, and good speed salivating. He can see the goal line.
Yeah, they like to give the ball to the fullback every papal election around here. They don't give it to all the blocking he does. You think they should give it to him a little bit more often.
And so Doffenmeyer and Lepore, the two safeties for Navy, make the stop on good speed. First down at the 25, Notre Dame. Jones finds a hole, stays on his feet, and a flag down. That usually means someone grabbed up high, trying to bring down the elusive tailback.
Boy, he got lost in that pile, didn't he? He just kind of emerged from the other side of it. Keeps those legs a-churning.
Nice tackle made by Lepore.
Holding.
Oh, no. He hits
On
Notre
the
Dame.
offense. 10 yards. Spot of a foul.
So Notre Dame,
First down.
well over 100 yards penalized today. Rob Davies sees what was another first down go down the drain. 11 penalties. And that shoves them over 100 yards total. Ball marked to the 32-yard line where it's first down and 16. 110 yards now marked off against the Irish. That's their worst performance of the season. Jackson. That was a good job of Navy as they took the pitch away. And Mike McGee makes the tackle.
Yeah, and Mike McGee, number 48, did a great job. You know, Tim DeRuiter, the defensive coordinator, said to me yesterday about McGee. He said, you know, without his uniform on, walking around campus, he looks like he should be a manager of the team. But the 100% or 110% heart kind of guy. Watch his films all week long. Watch how they stretch it out. The pitchman's taken away, and these two guys are on the quarterback.
Yeah, Lepore shot through and made sure that Jackson couldn't deliver the pitch. Together all right. Brown left. Second down and 15.
Jarius Jackson needs to get about 7 of that 15 at least here.
Going to go to the air for it. Under pressure. Look how strong he is. He rips away from the tackle, and now he's in the open field. Fighting his way to the 18-yard line, just short of a first down. Ivan Garvin chasing him down, but he was hit in the backfield for a loss. That was a big play by Jackson.
Yeah, you're right. It was Daniel, the linebacker. Now, the linebacker weighs 238 pounds for Navy, number 47, who has a chance at him here. Ordinarily, quarterbacks go down when linebackers grab him, but not Jarius Jackson, who's got the size of a linebacker but the speed of a running back.
So third down and 2 for Notre Dame. A Navy team that might be a bit weary here in the fourth quarter. Jones has the first down, it would appear.
That's a penalty. Oh, another penalty flag, Dick. Unbelievable. What you said, 110 yards?
110 against Notre Dame. Is this also against the Irish? Apparently so.
Holding on the offense. 10 yards. Spot of a foul.
This all ACC crew might not be invited back for a while. It's been frustrating for Davey and his coaching staff. Just laundry after laundry.
Well, take a look at John Teasdale, number 76 there. It's clean there. That's not a hold. It didn't look like a hold on 76 Teasdale. No, it didn't. That did look like a hold. Wasn't on John Teasdale.
So instead of a first down, they mark it from the spot of the foul. It'll be third down and 11.
Their kicking game is a little suspect, so not in field goal range at this point.
Oh, Jarius Jackson to throw to this side, too tall for David Gibbons.
And so on 4th down, here comes the field goal unit and young David Miller, who hasn't really had to kick the big one yet. And this comes close to being of that importance. 4th quarter, less than 11 minutes to go, a game tied. And Miller will have to deliver from about 43 yards.
And remember, a new snapper, Gerald Morgan, number 89.
James Caputo, the walk-on holder. All-A student in history. The kick is blocked. Picked up by David Alexander, and Alexander advances it out to the 34-35-yard line. Baz Williams, the quarterback, makes the block.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable effort by the midshipman. Wow. Baz Williams, who had intercepted a pass earlier, gets the block.
Welcome back to Camberg, Pat Hayden, Old Sunderland. At Notre Dame Stadium, the sellout of 80,000 treated to quite a game. Navy 4-touchdown underdog, tied at 21. Brian Madden, the quarterback, firing incomplete, looking for Matt O'Donnell. Let's go back to the blocked field goal.
Yeah, I think Shaka Martin, number 52, the second man in, jumps early. He's the second guy there. Here's the guy who blocks it on the outside, but watch the second guy in. I think he leaves early. He got away with it. And then Williams, who's played brilliantly here with an interception, that block kicked. He is the one who stuffed it.
2nd and 10 for Navy. Madden with a change of plays. Madden keeps it. Survives the defensive attack and is across the 40-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and about 3.5.
You know, Baz Williams, his coach Tim DeRuyter said to me yesterday, Baz Williams, all he needs is confidence. Well, today's been a confidence builder for Baz Williams.
They need to get to about the 43.5 for the first down. Officially, it's 3rd and 2, but it's much closer to 3rd and 3. Oh, Madden runs into his own blocker. Actually, it was halfback Steve Holly, and Holly was a starting quarterback the first 5 games a year ago, now playing at slot back. And no first down for Navy.
Yeah, and that was a critical 3rd down for them. The type the situation they like to be in. Now, they're actually considering, I think, going for this thing, which would be an error. I believe at this point in the game, a 4th and 1 with the ball here at this part of the field.
And no punting team yet.
Oh boy. Yeah,
and here they come. Here comes the kicking unit.
That's the right decision.
9-8-7 on the play clock.
It didn't really affect them on the punt, really, even if they have too much time.
And the snap in time. And the line drive kick. And of course, Notre Dame, no one back because of that quick change. And so with the roll, the Irish will have to start back at their own 5-yard line on a 53-yard punt. Trey Collish pins the Irish deep. 9:04 left in the 4th quarter. Heavily underdog Navy, and look at that gash on the left elbow of Brian Madden. That'll require stitches later.
Looks like he had some shrapnel or something there.
That's a pretty big cut. At the 5-yard line, Notre Dame begins. Jones through a big hole, breaks a tackle. Now the foot race. And Doffermeyer able to knock him out of bounds, but not until Julius Jones scampers for 37 yards.
No longer a freshman as a player. He may be academically, but boy, there's a big hole in the backside of this thing when he cuts through. I mean, Mike Gandy, John Teasdale on the right side, Morandi, the center, do their job, and then he keeps spinning and turning and breaking tackles, protects the football. I mean, I think one of the biggest adjustments for new runners in college football is how many guys have tried to attack the ball, but he has not fumbled.
So from the 5 out to the 42-yard line for Notre Dame on that first down carry. And this time it is Tony Fisher rejected. He gains only a yard. 2nd and 9. Paul, what do you have for us?
Well, Bob Davie went into his offensive huddle before they went out on the field and gave a couple of very key points. Composure, play with some confidence, no penalties, and we'll drive this thing 95 yards. Julius Jones, just that big carry, came off on the sidelines. He's had a little bit of a leg injury and a cramp. He's all right. Be ready to return. Little air, oxygen, little fluids. Back to you guys.
All right, Paul, look at that average. Nearly 9 yards a carry for the freshman Julius Jones.
Second down and 9. Terrence Howard now the tailback. He gets the toss, turns the corner, steps out, however, at the 45-yard line, where it'll be third down and about 6.
Remember, Dick, a few weeks ago when Notre Dame was playing against Oklahoma and they were down 30-14, and I think perhaps the turning point of their season may have been a 98-yard drive when they drove the distance and scored and went on to beat Oklahoma. Here, tie ball game, they start on their own 5. This could be a similar type of drive for them.
Big play coming up, officially third down and a short 7. Big 300-pound lineman, every man on that front wall for Notre Dame, 300 plus.
Together all up here, they like him on those hash marks.
Jackson hit from the backside and down he goes. He fumbled the ball, and who's got it?
I think Lepore got it.
Lepore and Navy. Lepore hit him, and did he recover? Yes. He had the daily double. Lepore with the sack, the fumble, and the recovery.
The trifecta. I mean, Chris Lepore has played as well as you can as a free safety, Dick. I mean, first good design by Tim DeRuta, the defensive coordinator, to bring him from the backside where the quarterback can't see him. Jarius Jackson can make you miss from the front side, but the backside he doesn't see him. Lepore, number 26, hits him high, then he sees the ball, clambers over the ball, and it prevents Jarius Jackson from getting it while recovering it himself. Great play by Lepore.
So the Mids take over at the Notre Dame 36-yard line in this 21 tie with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And here comes Madden. He keeps it 30, 25, and out of bounds with a first down at the Irish 24. A dozen more for Brian Madden. So we've seen the emergence as the man, Julius Jones, in the backfield for Notre Dame. And as a first game starter, Brian Madden certainly worthy of high praise in his debut here at Notre Dame.
He has been sensational, as has Chris Lepore.
First down for Navy at the 24-yard line. 7:53 left in the fourth. Not only running the ball, but running his team, man. What poise. He keeps it again. And that wounded elbow and all to the 20-yard line.
Really a phenomenal performance by this Navy Heat, no matter how the game turns out from now. I mean, they, we talked about it. You looked at the numbers, the mismatch, you think physically, size-wise, athletic-wise, and yet they were convinced they were not only going to play them tough, they were going to beat them. And they'll be disappointed if they don't win. They don't want to play them just closely.
You're right. They didn't come here to play a close game, be near a win. They came to win. Lambert and Madden keeps it, and nothing at all there. Good defense by Lamont Bryant of Notre Dame, the Georgetown, South Carolina senior.
I'll tell you one thing, both teams have struggled today with the kicking game. If I'm Charlie Weatherby, I'm thinking about, hey, if I can't get the first down here, it's 3rd and 7. At least I would like the ball centered in the middle of the field, prevent a tough angle for my kicker. Think about picking up the first down, obviously, but if you can't get the ball centered.
3rd down and 7. You saw Marlon Terrell, the fullback, replace Raheem Lambert. Notre Dame fans getting into it as Madden rolls. Keeps to the 16-yard line. He's 2 yards short of a first down.
I think you have to kick it, even though they love to go in these 4th down situations.
Tough angle for a right-footed kicker. Ball spotted at the 16. So this will be around a 33-yard attempt by Shubsta, who hooked it left from 45. This one from the left hash mark, 33 yards. Senior Shubsta. Good snap, kick up, and it is good. And Notre Dame sees Navy reclaim the lead at 24-21. Bob Davie, good job defense. Come on offense. Well, the 63-member Navy band able to celebrate and get a little extra exercise. The 24 push-ups as they celebrate the lead with less than 6 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Just what these guys need, a little extra exercise. They don't get enough from 6:30 to midnight. It's physical and intellectual.
It is a remarkable experience just to walk on that
Naval Academy campus.
How about the way they feed 4,000 at once?
And some left over for you and me. That was accommodating visitors.
Yeah.
So here we go with less than 6 left. Schubstadt hits it short. Taken by Terrence Howard. And he moves it to the 40, the 41-yard line. McGee makes the tackle.
Well, Navy up by 3. Here's the big reason why. It's been big plays. Block punt by Lepore. Recovered by Oliver. Then the interception by Alexander. That led to 14 of their 24 points. A block field goal which prevented 3. And then the incredible play by Lepore again, which led to 3. So the difference in those plays, you just saw 20 points. And Navy leads by 3.
And number 26, Chris Lepore, who led his team 93 tackles. He was some 25, 28 more than who was ever in second play. He has played the kind of game where some people have voted for those all teams, all East, maybe even all American. What a player.
He's first, second, and third on the team in tackles.
Navy was offside on the kickoff, declined by Notre Dame, and on first down, Julius Jones no hole as Ryan Hamilton, playing injured, the sophomore from Havertown, Pennsylvania, makes the stop.
You know, another great story. Ryan Hamilton, I was told yesterday afternoon at 4 o'clock, he can't play. He's not going to play. Too injured. He started the ball game. And after Army, after Air Force, this is the most important game for midship.
Second down, 11, Notre Dame. 5 minutes and 20 seconds left. Fake to Jones. Jackson getting itchy. Scrambles. Carries a couple of tacklers to the 43-yard line. A gain of 3. Brad Wimsett, the principal tackler for the Navy. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Jarius Jackson, 2 of 7 this half with 2 interceptions.
Make it 3rd down 8 as they spotted at the 43. Here's Jackson. First half and second half statistics, 2 interceptions here in the second half, and of course the fumble when he was blindsided by Lepore.
Yeah, but remember, he can still beat you with his legs even though he's not throwing the ball well. We've seen that with a 57-yard touchdown run.
3 wide receivers for Notre Dame. Good speed back with Jarius Jackson. Good protection, and the throw complete at the 48-yard line to Jabari Holloway. And now they mark it first down at the 48 of Navy. He got one more than necessary. Ryan Hamilton, tight coverage.
Jabari Holloway is a calm, relaxed guy. In situations like that, boy, that's what you like. I'm not so sure he wasn't throwing that ball together all, you know?
From that angle, it looked as if he might be.
But Jabari Holloway quietly goes about his work. He's thrown some real good blocks, recovered a touchdown in the end zone 2 weeks ago against USC. That's a good throw and a good catch.
Notre Dame at the Navy 47-yard line. Jay Johnson in motion, and here's Julius Jones. Slashes into the 44, a gain of 3. Lepore again. Tough to keep defensive statistics, but Lepore has to be deep in double figures. Tomorrow at 4 Eastern, it's the fantastic finish to the inaugural Gravity Games. 15-year-old superstar Travis Pastrana goes for Gravity Gold in the high-flying freestyle motocross finals, plus the best of the bike street competition. Gravity Games tomorrow at 4 Eastern, only on NBC.
Very edgy competition.
And it's edgy and grave on the Notre Dame sidelines right now. The toss to Jones, who runs the short side. Check that. Howard in for Jones, and number 32 makes some good yardage. Let's see where they spot him.
Chris Lepore threw his body out at Howard again, 26. I mean, you know, just sacrificing everything. I hope he didn't have class on Monday because I'm not sure he's going to be able to make it.
You hope. He knows he does, bro.
Yeah, 7:35
in the morning.
That's exactly right.
38-yard line they spotted. Lepore's heroics continue, and it's 3rd and 1. And this time it's Lopinski with both Jones and Howard, and it's Julius Jones tackled forward. And let's see where they spot it. He needed to get to the 37-yard line, and he's right there. It would appear he has the first down on the spot.
Okay, for Bob Davie, he's got to be thinking about his kicking game a little bit. He trails by 3. 3:09 remaining in the game, and they have had trouble all year long Dick, as we've seen in the kicking game. So he's got to be really worried about coming down to a situation where a field goal is going to, you have to rely on that field goal to tie it. He'd really like to be able to, get an easy score if you can. And sometimes a touchdown. And sometimes further away you are, here's the measurement, did make it. The tighter you get down by the goal line, the harder it is to throw the ball into the end zone. It gets too compressed.
So first down at the Navy 37-yard line for Davies Irish.
Telling everybody to get back off the sideline, although they have another coach who's in charge of that.
Under Davy, the Irish quietly been very tough at home. There are 13 wins in the last 14 games. Navy threatens here to end a long 35-year losing streak. And the Irish trying to win their 4th in a row, getting ready for Tennessee next week, and their hopes, of course, to finish strongly and earn a major bid. On first down, Jackson. It's Jones at tailback. Gatherall in motion. Fake to Jones. Jackson deep down the middle. Incomplete at the goal line, just a little short to Bobby Brown.
Is that a penalty flag? I think I see a penalty flag at the 40-yard line. Boy.
Against the Irish again for holding.
Man.
Incredible total of penalty yards against Notre Dame today.
Yeah, and again, you think maybe it's the quickness of Navy. They're so quick on those slants and stunts. There's the I think the hold right there, right in the middle of your screen. Oh, yeah.
Holding on the offense on a pass play, 10 yards, previous spot. Repeat, first down.
Jordan Black, a handful of white jersey. So it's marked back to the 48-yard line. 2:38 left, and now the clock becoming critical both ways. First down, 20.
They've had some very good screens today to wide receivers and to backs. Great opportunity to run a screen.
Brown left, Gatherall right. Lipinski and Julius Jones make that now good speed at fullback. There's the screen to Jones. Cuts back and knocked down at the 38-yard line by Ryan Hamilton and Mike McGee.
That's a good play. They gain 8 yards on 1st and 20. What they want to think is, clearly they struggle with the kicking game, get that first down, but they weren't too greedy on that first play. They got 8.
Second and 11, actually closer to 12. Officially 11.
See that?
Gatherall and Gibbons to the left, Brown to the right. Under 2 minutes to go. 24-21. Navy leads. Jackson into the flat, complete to Howard. Howard down inside the 30 and close to a first down at the 28-yard line. It'll be a yard plus shy of the first down with 3rd coming up.
Terrence Howard's nickname is the Blade. 6'1", 195, good receiver out of the backfield.
Bob Davy saying, hey, I've been signaling timeout for the last 10 seconds. It's acknowledged. 1:39 to go. Thoroughbred racing's greatest day next Saturday, and there's the Navy Thoroughbred. Today's Chevrolet players of the game: Chris Lepore, 12 tackles, a block punt, forced fumble, recovered fumble, and he's from St. Edward's High School, North Olmsted, Ohio. And Julius Jones for Notre Dame, Powell Valley High School, Big Stone Gap, Virginia, 146 yards. 3rd down and a yard. Jackson rolling. Hit, and down he goes back at the 39-yard line, and what a play by Navy. Ryan Hamilton and Darrell Hill. It's Hill. And just to finish our business, Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund. Beginning this year, Chevrolet also donates $1,000 to the 2 high schools. Congratulations to Chris Lepore and Julius Jones.
This is that Y high play again, Dick, that Notre Dame has run for several touchdowns the last few weeks. Jabari Holloway on the left side is wide open. There isn't anybody within 15 yards of Jabari Holloway, but Darrell Hill, number 55, is just too determined a guy.
And the 224-pound junior from Jupiter, Florida, makes the biggest tackle of his career.
Oh boy, I tell you, they call him the wild horse rider, the biggest play of his Navy career. Watch the tight end here. It's actually O'Leary. Watch how open he comes down the sideline. They call it Y hide.
Jackson no time. So 4th down and 10 for Notre Dame. They need 10 yards to keep it alive with 1:29 left, or Navy gets the ball. With Notre Dame having used all its timeouts, the midshipmen on the verge, one play away from ending a streak of defeats that goes all the way back to Roger Staubach in 1963.
And every receiver has to get down past the first down marker.
Jackson calmly from the shotgun. He has Getherall and Givens to the left, and Bobby Brown, the touchdown maker, early to the right. The throw complete. Is he going to get the first down? It's going to be very close. It's going to be right at the marker. How dramatic is this as Bobby Brown struggles to get to the 27-yard line?
It looks short to me. They threw the slant route hoping that he could run for the first down. Well, he got a pretty good mark.
He did get a good mark.
He got a pretty good mark.
How appropriate. Orange and black colors on the grounds crew, huh? It is a first down, Notre Dame. Oh, my! Brown's struggle as he was being hit earned him the inch he needed for the first down. That close. 24-21 Navy with 1:20 to go, and timeout called by the midshipmen.
I tell you, dangerous call, but I tell you, give Brown some credit for fighting for those last 2 inches.
I mean, he's hit short.
He really was hit short. I mean, I think he got a pretty good spot.
But Bobby Brown, the senior, knew that he had to struggle for every inch, and it was by just a chain link that he made the first down that keeps Notre Dame's hopes alive.
What a ball game. And again, once again, Notre Dame fighting, clawing back. They just got a lot of determination, as we've seen from this whole midshipman team today. Get top of the screen up here. That's Brown. Here's the first down marker right there. So he catches it about 3 yards short of it. If Hamilton can keep his helmet in front of his body, he doesn't get in. I mean, he doesn't get the first down.
3 catches for Brown, 72 yards, and the big touchdown. But this one even more important. It keeps the Irish hopes alive. That would have been Navy's ball if he had stopped 2 inches shorter. Right. And Navy would be about to celebrate a huge upset win.
Because Notre Dame has no timeouts remaining.
It's Howard with Fisher. The throw of the end zone. Givens at the 1-yard line, and good defensive coverage by Jamie Doffermeyer, the co-captain.
Yeah, I'm not sure who else is in their conference at safeties, but these 2 safeties for Navy have got to make the all-conference team. Doffermeyer on that play, it's perfect angle there that he didn't, no pass interference. It still makes it a real tough catch for him.
1:15 remaining in the 4th quarter. Notre Dame trying to rally from 24-21 down without a timeout. Jackson shotgun.
I'd spy him. I have someone spying him.
Into the flat. And alertly, Fisher stepping out of bounds, stops the clock at the 18-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
And it's a play they call vertical, where they send all the receivers down deep, and then they sneak it back out on the in the flat. It's worked well for them. Tony Fisher, their best receiving back. Big catch on that vertical play versus Michigan earlier in the year.
69 seconds left. 3rd and 1. That's the first down, as slamming through goes Tony Fisher. And the clock will stop with the first down just outside the Navy 15-yard line, and Notre Dame will quickly get into offensive formation. Ball at the 16, 1:03, and the clock starts
Final minute. 16 yards away from victory, perhaps, Notre Dame. Can they rally? Jackson looks to the end zone, then swings to Howard. Incomplete. Shaka Martin there to cover. At the very start, Paul Sunderland told you about how the co-captains, Jamie Doffelmeyer and Terrence Anderson, appealed to the 1963 team to write letters of encouragement, and all the members of the team on the flight here from Annapolis read the words of Staubach and former admirals in the Navy who have gone on to great careers, saying that your Navy football means this opportunity to beat a big opponent as an underdog. And they're less than a minute away, but Notre Dame has the ball, and Jackson looks again into the flat. Incomplete off the fingertips. Same play to Howard. He was well covered by Doffelmeyer.
Well, we say Tony Fisher is their best receiver out of the backfield, but Terrence Howard is generally a pretty good receiver. So now this is a tough one, I think, for Bob Davie. 3rd and 10, down by 3. I think at a minimum, he needs to get the ball in the middle of the field. You know, because they had trouble with the kicking game. Make it at least a straight-on kick.
45 seconds, no timeouts for Davie. Jackson shotgun. Good protection. Now the scramble. Now the look. Now the lob toward the goal line. It's Jay Johnson. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Jay Johnson. Jackson has done it again with a scramble and throw to Jay Johnson, who broke tackles to get in the end zone. David Miller's try for a point. And Notre Dame leads 28-24. Flag is down. Johnson was hit at the 3-yard line, and the senior from Starkville, Mississippi, fought his way into the end zone. Offside is the call against Navy on the extra point. So the midshipmen, with his gallant, almost heroic effort at Notre Dame, find themselves with 36 seconds left, trailing by 4.
You know, Dick, this is clearly not Notre Dame's best team ever, but it may be their most determined and their most resourceful team. They have been remarkable playing from behind this year. Even games they didn't win, they could have won. A determined group of young men.
And Jarius Jackson, who was voted in a rare honor at Notre Dame, the sole captain, has been the leader of the band. There's no question about that. Look at this scramble play.
Yep. Yeah, he's just so hard to bring down. Actually, he's the man right here. He's so hard to bring down. Just 100% effort type of guy. You know, struggles, looks ugly, you know, throwing the ball a lot, but when you need the big plays, Jarius Jackson comes through. Now, I expect a squib kick here, I would think, from Notre Dame.
Navy has just one timeout left and needs a touchdown now to win.
I think you want to let him have a clean return.
Yeah, field goal can't hurt you. Well, they get hit. And this one to the goal line, and they're going to take it back out. And not much there. As Matt O'Donnell, the wide receiver, returns to the 19-yard line. So 31 seconds remain for the midshipmen of Navy. Ever so close to an amazing victory here today.
Well, they were 2 years ago. Similar type of finish for Navy, but you know, the wishbone is a great keep away offense, not a great catch up offense.
What an effort by the sophomore Brian Madden.
Two guys up here.
Talk about earning spurs. Steps away from the rush, throws, complete. Travis Williams can't get out of bounds. That's a big tackle by Johnny Sanders, the senior safety. Times stop with a first down. Maybe we'll hurry into position.
As soon as they get the markers set, the clock will start again.
24 seconds, and they wind the clock.
sidelines. Williams fighting and gets out of bounds with short yardage at the 37-yard line. 15 seconds showing.
But really, the only hope for Navy is really to hit a receiver who's on the move. You can't run hook routes in these kind of situations, Dick. You know, you catch it and you get stopped. They need to catch a guy on a slant or a skinny post kind of route where you can catch it and run away from defenders.
Grant Irons gets Madden, and that should do it. Irons with a sack. Navy does have one timeout left, and there it is spent with 7 seconds. So a final play for Madden and these gallant midshipmen.
Yeah, this guy can't believe it. I don't think anybody can. This is one of those coverage sacks, although Grant Irons gets a good jump on the corner. And again, turns those shoulders. You know, the Irish have not rushed the passer particularly well, but that time Grant Irons got upfield, turned the corner, and then had a little burst to the quarterback.
Take a miracle 68-yard touchdown now for Navy. In case you're joining us late, Notre Dame built a 14-0 lead as a heavy favorite and then saw that erode 14-7 on a Madden 11-yard run and a block punt by Lepore, covered by Chris Oliver in the end zone. It was tied at halftime, and then David Alexander intercepted a pass 21 yards off Jackson to take the lead 21-14. Jarius Jackson ran 57 yards to tie it at 21. A couple of missed field goals on each side, and then the midshipmen got a 33-yard field goal by Shubsta, and in the final seconds, Charlie Weatherby saw Jarius Jackson on a scramble throw to Jay Johnson, and Johnson breaking tackles inside the 5, scoring for Notre Dame to take the lead 28-24. Probably the last play of the game. Madden throws it as far as he can and hopes. Bounces in the air, incomplete. The game is over. Notre Dame escapes 28-24. And look at the midshipmen. True to all the promise of giving it everything they had on every play. Brian Madden, the sophomore, and the midshipmen worthy today. And you know what Bob Davie is saying to Weatherby. The admiration from both sides, winner and almost victor. Oh my, what a game, Paul Sunderland.
Well, indeed. Certainly it struggled all afternoon, Jarius, but tell us about the last drive. It seemed that your season came within an inch on that third down measurement.
It definitely came within the third down. I think they brought the blitz on the last play. I sided it to Bobby Brown. He was lucky enough to get the first down, but like you said, I mean, I know myself. Today, I think this was the worst game I've ever had in my Notre Dame career, you know, but luckily, the last drive, we were able to pull something out and go down and score to win the game.
All the big plays in the second half in spite of the struggles. Congratulations and best of luck to you next week against Tennessee. All right, back to you, Dick.
So from a 1-3 start, Notre Dame wins its 4th in a row. A cliffhanger victory today, 28-24 against the midshipmen of Navy. Again, the final 28-24 coming up tonight on NBC. It's Freaks and Geeks, followed by The Pretender and Profiler. For Pat Hayden and Paul Sunderland, this is Dick Enberg. So long from South Bend.